Welcome to the Braylon Edwards Show with Shep.
Touchdown, Braylon Edwards.
Braylon Edwards, touchdown, Michigan. Running pattern to Edwards, touchdown, Michigan.
Where we bring you the best in sports, entertainment, and insight. Join us every weekday from 2 to 4 p.m. as we break down the latest games, analyze the biggest plays, and dive into the hottest topics in sports. We'll have exclusive interviews with your favorite athletes and guests, and you'll get a front row seat to all the action. So tune in to the Braylon Edwards Show with Shep.
Got one-on-one going end zone. Edwards in the air. Oh, what a catch by Braylon Edwards. His second touchdown of the game.
On the Woodward Sports Network, where sports comes to life.
What is going on? Welcome into the Braylon Edwards Show with Shep. I am your host, show name, Braylon Edwards, and I'm finally back. I'm finally back in 2026 with the man to my left, the man, the myth, the legend, Matt Free. No. That's you, brother.
Got
Matt
our bro Shep
back in the building.
All is right with the world.
And the first thing I got to say, Shep, is I came in today. I said, you know what? My guy Shep's going to be here. He's back. Get a chance to talk some sports. I said, you know what? I'm going to dress up a little bit. I'm putting a little casual fit. I'm going to put myself on a Shep outfit. Looks like we switch roles
Wait a
today,
minute, you
man.
always look good.
Well,
So
true,
that's not true. I try to follow you.
But
You
this is a
always
little
look
more
sharp.
casual. This is a little more business cash.
I would agree with that.
I put on the
Yeah.
the sporting outfits, some hoodies, some drip here and there.
Yeah, but you always look good. For me, it was. It's a sweatshirt day for me.
You look
Sorry,
good,
I just
man.
got done traveling, and I just didn't dig deep in enough to the closet, so I just decided to wear my son's band's T-shirt or sweatshirt. It's called Anti-Ghost.
Now look, we have to hear
Yeah.
some music, and that sound that you hear in the background is my guy Cam on the ones and twos in the audio booth, as well as saying hello
What up,
to
though,
my
y'all?
right hand, Kool-Aid.
What does
Brandon
ones
Dent.
and twos mean?
DJ ones and twos?
Ones and twos. Explain that for me.
So like back in the day when they first started DJing like hip hop vibes, maybe like 78, 79 or so, when the DJing took off, the one was the right, two was the left. So it's on the who's on the ones and twos, who's controlling the crowd, who's controlling
The
music.
one's on the right, the two's on the left, even though we read left to right. Okay, I got you. All right, one. Okay.
Yeah, so basically, like, who's on the ones and two? Who's controlling the vibe?
Right.
That's what it is. And right now,
Right
our
now it's
guy
Cam.
AKA Sweet Potato.
Sweet potato Cam.
Sweet Potato
Sounds
Cam.
like we're in
Yours truly.
a massage parlor or some type of cool down after a workout.
You said
Now-
cool down?
what
It is
type-
a Kool-Aid track.
It is a Kool-Aid. Oh, is this a Kool-Aid track?
Oh, yeah, I loaded like 70 tracks in there.
Oh, I like this.
Now, this is smooth vibes. Now, when you
I
say
think Cam likes it too because he never knows how to turn it down. He just
I
lets
do
it
like
play
it.
throughout the entire segment.
when you say massage parlor, now we're talking about a spot that you go to and really, you know what I'm saying? You really get a
What are you
chance
talking about, Brad?
to relieve stress the whole 9 yards the right way, or is this one of those Robert Kraft?
I'm about to say,
This one of the Bob Kraft situations
Hey, Bray.
with Meek Mills.
you gonna go to L.A. with me for NBA
Hold on, wait a
All-Star?
minute. I thought we
Oh,
were
no.
finished. Hey, LA. But you know the
I hear they
difference.
got sauce out there.
Just so the record is clear, I've never had a massage, and I've never been to a massage
wait,
parlor.
Never?
Shep, treat
Never.
yourself.
Never?
What?
I have never had a massage.
Change your
and
life.
I have never been to a massage parlor ever.
Ever?
Oh,
Ever.
Is it? Why is it?
I know what you're getting for
I-
Christmas.
I know why some women don't like it. So I mean, is it along the same
I'll be honest
lines?
with you, I don't know. All right. So I had a back problem. I had a doctor look at the back.
Okay.
And then kind of wrench it out. I don't know. Is that a massage?
Nah.
I don't know.
It's,
Okay.
it's
I don't know.
chiropractic work.
That's
Right.
Nah.
The same
trainer
office then said, you know what
100%.
you really need to do because you got some problems with your arches is we need to work on your feet a little bit. I said, no one's touching my feet.
Definitely. The feet.
So
Right.
I've never had any of that stuff. I know guys have had the fingers, right? The manicure.
man.
Manicure, pedicure.
Okay. Never had either one of those.
Now, the
Never
key-
had a massage.
One, I'm going to get you a massage. I'm going to set that up.
No, no, it's okay.
No.
Save it for Kool-Aid.
Hook 'em
Have
up.
Kool-Aid or
Listen.
Cam do it.
It's funny you said that. My sister actually just texted me. I asked her to hook her up. My spot is legit. It's legit. LEGIT.
I don't question that.
Is it? You can keep your shorts on.
I don't have a problem with that either.
Because I know a lot of people feel uncomfortable with not having the undergarments on.
I don't know the reason for it. Sometimes I am doing something and I'm going, this is wasting my time. I am not being productive. It's a problem. I understand it. I've got many, many problems.
We got to get you out of there.
Okay,
man.
but while I'm doing something like that. I'll sit in the sauna for a while.
Yeah.
And I can't stop thinking about what we're going to talk about or
I've never done
some
the
type
sauna.
of work or some type of angle of something. And it's a problem. I'm not proud of it. I'm just saying I would not be a good person for a masseuse to work on, even though that's a terribly crafted sentence. I apologize
I
for ending in a preposition.
I understand exactly what the sentence was supposed to be. I think the biggest thing for me is like when you work out, which I know you do, when you sit in jobs, which we do, and things like that, that lactic acid can build up, man. That stress on the lower back, stress on the neck, stress on the hamstrings, all that, and then the stems, like you said, from the feet. When you got that mixed in with all these things, man, like your body kind of tenses up and it tightens up, man. You want the body to be loose.
Get loose, Shep.
Yeah.
You want to just slide down. You want to be smooth.
Yeah.
I almost slid out this chair while we playing.
No,
That's what you
you've
want.
got that for sure.
Yeah.
I am literally stiff as a board.
What else is going on? I feel like a lot has happened. Last time we saw each other would have been the 23rd. The last
it
time,
really?
So last time we did show together would have been the
So we
23rd.
wish each other
before
Merry
Christmas,
Christmas.
and
Like the
New
Lions
Year.
actually
And
got a
New Year.
win since the last time we saw each
I
other.
know.
They lost 1-2.
Would not have thought. I would have thought it might have been the other way around. We were both worried about Minnesota.
Yeah.
The Chicago game threw me for a loop. Don't know exactly the reason for that. I don't know if it was Ben Johnson being rather vanilla with his play calling or in his offense,
man.
but good. As I tweeted out, good for them.
Yeah.
You know, I have never been that kind of guy to say, lose for me. Win for me. I ask him to win. I want him to win. I can't help that. I don't care if it's the Pistons, the Red Wings, the Tigers, the Lions, Michigan State. I want him to win. Okay.
Yeah. Speaking of three of those schools, there's three of those entities you named: Pistons, Red Wings, and Michigan playing extremely good ball right now. And
Michigan State is too.
And Michigan State is. They only
Except for
lost
the
one.
loss to Nebraska.
And that's only one. That was
and they're undefeated.
Yeah.
Fred Hoiberg's done a really good job with the Cornhuskers.
Getting back to the Lions real quick. I know we touched on it. We'll talk about it, opening, getting your thoughts on some things. But what did you make of that game? Because for me, we talked about it, Kool-Aid, on the first. Talked about the first of the year. Came on the show. I came on right after you, I want to say. Listen to your show. You were great. Yeah, you're great as you always are.
Thank you.
You're great as you always
I
are.
enjoyed Kool-Aid and
Yeah.
Broder. That was such a well-done show. Go back and watch it. Braylon came on. D-Mac came on. Neil did something live from where he was. And it was a lot of fun. I'd like to see us do more of that. Yeah.
I do, like cross breeding between.
promotion,
Oh my
yeah.
God, 100%.
Yeah.
For me, the big conversation that Kool-Aid and I talked about was the pride thing. It was like, hey, look, last game of the season, our players going to sit. What would you expect? How do you want this game to go?
Yeah.
I said, nah, this is a season in which the team as a whole, talking about everybody is included in that, was a letdown. Now, you have an opportunity to finish above 500. For me, it's momentum. For me, it's how you finish the season. For me, it's showing your fan base, showing yourself that we got to go out here and get this win. We got to go out here and do all things possible to put forth that effort to show you that, yeah, this thing can end the right way. We actually care about what we're doing. We're still the team, but we had a letdown. We can finish strong because momentum is key. I know you don't necessarily believe in momentum, but if you end that season losing to the Bears, now you're under 500. That's how you start your offseason. Energy is a real thing. For me, how they went out there, they won it. It was ugly in the end. Like, it was an ugly win in the end, but a win is a win is a win. I don't believe in moral victories, but I do believe in energy finishing a thing.
I don't care what team you were on, whether it be Cleveland or the Jets or San Francisco or Seattle. How often did you think of players who could be your teammates the following season?
When I was in Cleveland all the time.
So you thought, okay, I want at the end of this regular season, I want to help this team get better through the draft. You were thinking about certain players they may draft?
Certain players they may draft, and also certain players that were going to come available through free agency. Certain players,
Right.
100%.
That I get.
Yeah.
I've really never
As long as they weren't
encountered-
drafting receivers, then yes. Sure.
There you go.
Yeah.
I don't, not that you would have to worry. I don't think, there's not many athletes I've ever come in contact with who've ever said, yeah, I want this team to get the best draft pick possible. I think they're more worried about themselves, and rightfully so. They're worried about their numbers, and rightfully so. And they're worried about finishing the season the right way. And that to me is what the Lions did. The Lions cared about themselves.
Yeah.
And they should. They should go out and they should say, you know what? This is important to us. I don't understand the logic. I understand the mindset. I don't understand the logic how anybody could possibly say, you know what? It shouldn't matter to you because I want to move up 3 spots in the draft when all season long I've been saying to you, why doesn't it matter enough?
Yeah. Yeah, 100%. I appreciate that. 15 and 17, there's no real difference for me. And then the big thing is you've seen a GM in Brad Holmes that knows how to move up. There's one thing what we know about Brad Holmes in the draft, he can find ways to move up. That's something that he does well. So if you're talking about 2 spots, like whoever you want is not going to be there at 15 anyway. It won't be a difference between 15 and 17. You're going to have to go further than 15.
Unless it's Ruben Dayton, and I don't think he'll be there. I mean, there are certain guys. He's going to be long gone. He's going to. If I'm going to listen to Lions fans tell me that a preconceived belief going into the draft is they have to draft offensive line, defensive line, safety in that order or in that some type of order, then you would also understand why there's offensive linemen right around that time slot, right around 15, 16, 17.
Caden Proctor's been the big name that's come out.
Yeah,
right there.
They're all, I don't want to say interchangeable. This would have been different if you had a chance to be a top 10 where you could get the kid out of Miami who's really good.
Difference
right?
between like 7 or 12.
Yeah, or Fatu from Utah. You could get him.
Yeah.
That would be different. That's not the case here. We're talking about going from, I think they're 17, and had they beaten the Bears, they would have been what, 14 or 15? So how much really is there that much of a difference? I love the professionalism by the team. I love the we talk about this all the time, Braylon, with the Pistons.
Yeah.
What do we love most about it?
The professionalism of the front office, and how they carry themselves,
how they go about their business. It doesn't matter who they're playing. They're playing the Bulls tonight. Their mindset is no doubt. I have no qualms about this. It'll be the same as it was against the Knicks. Because it seems like that's who they are.
BTA.
Why would I want any different from my football team?
Yeah, no, and they're the ones that started the grid thing. So they're the ones that's supposed to, emulate that
that's a
time
great
after time
point.
after time after time. So, and that's what they went out there and did. And I can appreciate the win. And now we can move forward and see what this offseason is going to bring. Obviously, we know it already started, and it started with a firing.
Yeah, it started with John Morton being let go. Okay, that's not surprising to us, is it?
No, I assumed he got fired week 9. So I assumed it was already done for him anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Do you think he got a raw deal?
I don't think he got a raw deal, but I don't think he got a fully fair shake.
Okay.
Like, I don't think he got a raw deal. He got
Makes sense.
He got an opportunity to coach the Detroit Lions, come in as an offensive coordinator. He had plenty of talent around the staff, et cetera. He was in a good team. He was in a great space. He had some camaraderie already with Jared Goff, and then it got to rocking and rolling. And he was able to get 8 weeks out of the situation to really see what you can do and what you can be. And it did not work. It didn't work here. Where I say it's slightly unfair, offensive line was an issue. From the very first game to essentially almost the very last game, the offensive line was an issue, whether it was the players that we had start the season, whether it was the injuries. I think out of 17 games, Shep, we saw 14 different starting lineups in the offensive row. So that does not help an offensive coordinator that's trying to come in and coordinate the best game through his quarterback and through his offense. So I don't think he got a fair shake. One of the biggest things, though, that I didn't like about, he didn't maximize what he had. Mm-hmm. And then when you come out, and remember when he said this, you and I talked about it, Kool-Aid as well.
Yeah.
I failed you, J-Mo.
Yes. You said that the very day he said that.
He was gone then.
You had a problem with that.
That was the writing on the wall. Because then you go out there and you don't continue to utilize him. You find 2 catches in the first quarter, and then you're quiet for the rest of the game. You can't isolate a guy like that. I feel like he really only used 2.5 players, and the half would be Sam Laporta.
You know what? I'm feeling that a little bit more because I was kind of leaning towards. I do wonder because it didn't look much better. But if you're the OC of this Detroit Lions team with a whole garage full of Ferraris, you got to know how to drive them. That's not necessarily even Dan Campbell's job. It has to be that OC. And we saw, I believe, the impact when you had someone like Ben Johnson who is – he's taken innovation to a whole new level with that offensive coordinator position. And I think you need that in this version of the NFL. I think John Morton is more of a foundation guy, which is the credit he always used to get from Dan Campbell. I think Dan Campbell is a good foundation guy. But I think to take this thing to the next level, you do need a person that is kind of one of those next level offensive borderline geniuses.
Also, too, Shep, coming into this season, you talked about this a lot. What did Dan Campbell tell us in the offseason, as early as April, as early as May? Who was going to be featured more in the pass game as a wide receiver? It was going to be none other than Jahmyr Gibbs.
Yeah.
They didn't learn how to implement, well, technically they didn't fully learn all season, but they didn't start implementing Jahmyr Gibbs to the pass game until the Eagles game. Mm-hmm. This is week 13. Week 14, so that you didn't get Jahmyr Gibbs in the passing game, which you said you were going to do. You draft Isaac Tesla. You see the playmaking ability that he has. Still can't get him figured out. Still can't get him implemented. We have a duo. We had the number one duo in the NFL, and their name, Sonic and Knuckles, or Knuckles and Sonic, however you figured out what happened to Knuckles. And you can go and tell me that the offensive line, and that's why I say partially, I give them a little bit of room because the offensive line was not good. But your job as an offensive coordinator is when you see these things is to adjust. This is the NFL. This is not Catholic Central High School, which they would have figured it out. This isn't college. This is the NFL. You got to find ways to get the ball out of Jared Goff's hand faster. You got to find ways to get the run. It may not be running up the middle because you weren't that good in the interior. You can get passes on the outside and things like that. They didn't adjust when John Morton was the OC. So the writing was on the wall. Do I agree with it? 1,000%.
Yeah, I would have done the same thing.
Yeah.
I think it's too simplistic to lay the blame at his feet.
I agree.
Because
it's lazy.
I agree with that.
It is. It's very lazy to do that because it goes much deeper than that. He had his play duties taken away from him in week 10. They were too inconsistent. They did finish, for what this is worth, the only team in the NFL to have 2 top 10 receivers.
Yeah.
Okay. The numbers for Amon-Ra St. Brown are better this year than they were a year ago. Mm-hmm. The numbers for Jamison Williams this year are better than they were a year ago. And Jared Goff's numbers were eye-popping.
Yeah.
Solid. Yeah.
Okay. What was missing from that?
The run game.
The run game was missing from it.
And one player.
And, well, I would say more than one player.
Fair.
Obviously, Frank Ragnow. Mm-hmm. Obviously, they didn't replace. I guess to a certain extent they did. I mean, I'll be interested to see as we move forward some of Braylon's breakdowns, and hopefully it involves Tate Ratledge compared to a guy like Kevin Zeitler.
You sure you want to do that?
Because it's educational. And where we can things that we can look at that Tate Ratledge will need to get to in order for us to do that. Okay?
Not even an aspect of saying what he isn't, but showing just what they were missing while we wait for Tate to build it up.
Exactly.
I get that.
Exactly.
I get that
okay.
So I think that'll be a really good
That's
educational
fine.
tool for us.
I'm going to write that down.
The other thing is, you said as soon as Sam Laporta, well, no, not as soon. I would say, I think it was 2 weeks after he got hurt.
Yeah.
This is going to hurt more than people realize. And it took us a while to recognize that. He was a really important piece.
Yeah.
And I'm not making excuses for John Morton at all. I've already stated, I would have moved on as well. I'm just talking about laying all the blame at one man's feet is ridiculous. And I think laying the blame at one man's feet for Kelvin Shepard is ridiculous too.
Yeah.
I'm trying to figure out and weigh when is it players make plays and it's coach's scheme. You would know that better than I would. I just believe there's some type of marriage there that needs to be involved.
Yeah, 100%. Now, there's a fault in everybody. Yesterday, the conversation was about Dan Campbell saying that he graded himself an F.
Right.
That's what we talked about yesterday. That's what he said. I agree that he wasn't his best this year. I agree if you want to give yourself a D, that's fine. Mm-hmm. As a collective, they were bad. As a collective, they were an F. When you look at what is it, the scheme, and what is it, the player, when the scheme doesn't change week after week after week after week, and you're struggling in the same spaces, that's when you start to look at the coach. Like, okay, you guys are struggling in the same spaces, and you're not pulling yourself out of those spaces. I'm seeing the same lack of things happening in games week after week after week. Yeah, there were a lot of, let me not say a lot, there were a lot of miscues. There were a lot of drops. There were things that players did to enhance the bad football. But your coordinator is putting you in a position, man, not to necessarily win, and he's putting you behind the 8 ball. It sucks going into games and being behind the 8 ball as the game starts. If you watch some of those games and go back, you'll see the defensive players just calling plays out, calling where things are going. Yeah. And then you see Jared Goff looking and trying to adjust, and then there's nothing to adjust to. Mm-hmm. There's no adjust to. So that is on John Morton.
Agreed. And you said the adjustments, you've mentioned that a couple of times. You are so dead on there, and I think that's the one thing that the Lions did not do as well of this year as they did the year before. And you said running the football. They averaged 22 yards per game less on the ground this year than they did a year ago.
That's a big jump.
Keep this in mind. They ran the ball 90 times fewer. A little bit more than 90.
Sheesh.
I think 92.
I'm bringing the power stats on the first show back.
I like
okay,
it.
well,
I see it.
So
go.
then it begs this question. Is that because, like you said, they're playing from behind more often than they did a year ago?
Yeah.
And is it because of the situations they're put in? They're not running very well. How many times did you tell us during the year? First downs are not very good. Their third down conversions are not very good. My question, why aren't they as good? Your response, they're in third and longs a lot more than they were a year ago. And that has something to do with it, too.
It has a lot to do with it, too, because when you can't pass the ball or run the ball, like legitimately on first down, you're trying to run the ball, you're trying to get back to the bread and butter and what it is, and you're getting stopped for a lack of yards, or you're getting stopped for a negative yards, or it's a 1-yard gain. Now it's 2nd and 9. Now the defensive line can pin their ears back because they know what time it is. They know it's coming. It makes it a lot harder. So then when you say, well, we don't have a run game, so what are we going to do? We'll pass on first down. Well, you're struggling in the interior. Jared Goff couldn't necessarily have the line of sight that he was used to. Mm-hmm. The line of sight that he was used to over the last 3 years, man, he could sit back there, see what it was, know that the middle would be protected, also know that the right will be protected, and also pretty much know the left will be protected, so I can sit here and do that. That's not what happened last year. So now on passing downs, and then when teams figure out, well, we know they're not running, and then when you're not using David Montgomery, see, he's like, oh, we know exactly what they're doing. It makes it that much easier on first down for teams to kind of scheme what you're going to do. And that's what we saw in the middle to the end of the year.
I think the word you used was predictable. They became very predictable, where in the past they did not.
Yeah.
Okay. That said, knowing that they're going to move on, I do have what I think would be a very important question for you to answer when we come back from break.
1,000%.
Professional tease.
I appreciate that.
It's not a professional tease. That's a handoff. That is literally Jared Goff going to Jahmyr Gibbs. Here you go. You go to break.
Welcome back, Shep.
See, you know what? I miss this guy, man. I absolutely miss you. I want to ask you something when we come back to about the Chicago Bears game. But first, let me tell you about Ben Johnson Law. He is the fighter. Let him fight for you. He and his team have been doing this for a very long time, and they operate at a very high rate. It doesn't matter if it's a verdict or a settlement. They want all the smoke. They want you to know they will fight for you, and they'll get you the verdict that you not only want, they'll get you the one you deserve. Sometimes a little bit more than what you want. Reach out to Vin at venfights.com. That's venfights.com. He is the fighter, and he'll fight for you.
I don't want you to think Art and Jake's Sports Bar and Grill and their 6 locations is your quote-unquote typical bar and grill. It's not. And the reason it's not is because they've got cooks who've been in their kitchens for well over 15 years. You don't find that in places that just serve beer and burgers. This is not that kind of place. Fan favorites like wings and wraps, their signature fairway burgers, sure, but also their shrimp is so good. I promise you, you will not be disappointed. And they've got some weekly specials like rib nights on Mondays, and tonight is fajitas and margaritas Wednesdays. It's Art and Jake Sports Bar and Grill, 6 locations throughout the great state of Michigan. Check it out to watch the Pistons tonight. They've got 80 television sets in each one of their locations for you to sit back and enjoy.
Planet Fitness now has even more best-in-class strength equipment. Join today for $1 down and save.
We're stepping it up.
We're not slowing down.
Finding new faith, new focus.
Love that new equipment smell.
So, you in?
Join the club today. Save when you join for just $1 down, $15 a month. Planet Fitness. We're all strong on this planet.
Like a frostbite straight from the divine. Cold rush on my skin feels so fine. Muscle freeze, the ache. mistake. Chill Sub-Zero, icy and true. Feel the chill. It's all for you. It's not magic, just science play. Chill Sub-Zero.
Is that an octopus in your pants, or are you just happy to see me? See what I did there? Go Red Wings! From Octopi Experts Woodward Sports. Head to woodwardsports.com and click on Shop. Get the latest in Detroit sports apparel and exclusive Woodward Sports gear. Woodwardsports.com can get the whole team outfitted. Love the Pistons, Red Wings, and Tigers? We got something for you, too. Shop online at woodwardsports.com. You smell that? That's Brad Holmes cooking. And the off-season smells good. Woodward Sports.
Planet Fitness, where your fitness is essential. Yeah, I'm laughing. I got my buddy Shep back. You know what time it is. 50 metropolitan Detroit locations. It is the gym for you. Check this out. We are all strong on this planet. That planet is Planet Fitness. Exciting new partnership coming in the next season about the Detroit Lions. We'll get into that later. But the access to the black card, that's what it is. Access to all the amenities, the recovery with a hydro massage. Now, Shep, you can do a hydro massage because it's just sitting in a chair with water. You can keep all your clothes on. It's very good. It's very nice. But you can do that. $24.99 is the black card, all the amenities, and you can bring a free guest every time you come. No judgment here at Planet Fitness. Just iron, just weights, and people smiling doing their thing. We'll see you soon.
Hey, listen, there's so many good sporting events coming up. Like I said, the Pistons play the Bulls tonight. You've got the college football playoff playing tomorrow. What else are you going to do but sit back, enjoy a nice cold drink, and that drink should be Sun Cruiser Vodka Iced Tea. I got news for you, man. It's hump day. So the weekend's right around the corner, baby. It's right around the corner. Take advantage of it. Sun Cruiser Vodka Iced Tea is not going to make your head hurt. It's not going to make you slow and lazy. It is fresh. It is clean. It is crisp, and it's only got 100 calories. It is perfect for watching sports on any night. Enjoy it, but enjoy it responsibly.
And we back.
Responsibly it is, Shep.
Responsibly it is. Here's my question for you.
Okay.
And welcome back. And it's so good to be back here behind this microphone.
I think the chat missed you too, man. There was a lot of clamoring for Shep, man, while you were gone.
Was it clamoring for me or getting rid of your co-host? No, I'm just kidding. I actually really enjoyed working with Anson while you were gone. It was spirited at times.
It's spirited,
and that's what it.
That's a good way to put it.
And that's what it is at this place. Seriously, I mean we've got good people here. I really enjoy them.
It gets the chat going.
It does get the chat going. With the Lions moving on from John Morton for offensive coordinator, is this the most attractive job in the National Football League? So I know you're going to roll your eyes. You're going to go, come on, Shep. I mean, what a homer. Okay, I could be.
Crime.
What's a better gig? The offensive coordinator job in Detroit or the offensive coordinator job in Baltimore that's about to open up? The offensive coordinator job in Atlanta. The offensive coordinator job in wherever somebody's been let go. And I don't want people to lose their jobs. It's hard out there. But this should have a lot of people lined up.
Yeah.
And I mean qualified people. With all due respect to David Blau, my hope is that he's an
29 minutes. I was wondering who's going to crack the first joke.
Yeah,
29 minutes in.
He's an assistant quarterbacks coach, right?
Yeah.
This offense, this recent success warrants a more established play caller. Am I wrong there?
1,000%. As it relates to, is it the premier job right now? That's a good one. I mean, if Baltimore Ravens have Lamar Jackson, the team you can bring back, so that would be a good one.
And Derrick Henry,
100%. I think he's getting towards the end of the road, man. But if they're going to keep negating giving him the ball, sure, he'll get some legs at the rest of at the end of the season. Maybe the Ravens. I think there's always the Giants. It's New York. Like they can't get it right, but it's still New York. But outside of those two, outside of Love and Allegiant Stadium and maybe Vegas, that's a tough spot.
I think the Giants is a good job.
Yeah, I think the Giants is a good job.
I do. I think, matter of fact, from all the openings, Miami, I think the Giants is the best job because their defense is established.
Yeah.
They've got dudes up front. There's no doubt about that.
Giants and Ravens, because for me with the Ravens, look at that division.
Yeah.
Like a lot of people are talking about going to a lot of people are talking about going to the Raiders. I'm like, look, you go out there to Las Vegas. I'm not saying I'm scared of anything, but you got Sean Payton, Hall of Famer out there. You have Andy Reid, Hall of Fame coach out there, and you also have Jim Harbaugh out there. That's tough.
And all of them, by the way, have QBs
and systems in play. If you go to the Baltimore Ravens, Cleveland Browns are a mess. The Cincinnati Bengals are a mess, and the Pittsburgh Steelers, I don't buy them. And Aaron Rodgers, is this the last year? Is this the swan song?
I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm pissed at myself right now. I'm pissed at myself for missing that angle of it. Yeah. Last year, I defended Ben Johnson going to the Bears because he knew the division. That was my argument. He knew the division. Yeah. They've got really good players there. He brings up Baltimore because of the division, and I didn't go there. I didn't think about that. I thought about how they underachieved rather than what they could be coming back and who they have to play on a regular basis, even though I think Cincinnati might be a team. Of course, I said this last year.
Look how bad that season was. And in Week 18,
they're playing
a missed field goal cost them not just a playoff spot, but a division win.
Yeah, you think about that. That kick goes right, Harbaugh gets fired. That kick goes left of the uprights, Harbaugh gets fired.
It goes straight down the middle.
Straight down the middle.
Tomlin gets fired. 100%. Loop. You had everybody's fate in your hands, and he chose John Harbaugh.
Isn't that crazy that the two longest tenured coaches were in the same division? Harbaugh and Tomlin.
To your point, this is an amazing coaching job. Detroit, regardless of what the season was, it was a bad season. The season's over. You don't make the playoff. There's still a lot of momentum. There's still a lot here in Detroit. There's a ton of talent. There's a ton of people that want to win. There's still a really good head coach in place. You just need an offensive coordinator. This is a sexy pick. If you're an offensive coordinator, you mean tell me you can have a quarterback like Jared Goff when you look at what his stat line is, especially when you provide him with offensive linemen to help, which every quarterback needs, by the way, not just him. But you mean to tell me you have Jahmyr Gibbs ascending into his prime? He's not even in his prime yet. You got Amon-Ra St. Brown. You have Jameson Williams, who figured out how to get better towards the end of the year when St. Brown was down a little bit and they depended on him a little bit more. And then Sam Laporta will be back, hopefully, this year. It is a sexy job, and what I want them to do, we talked about this, take it serious, take it slow, be patient. That's what I'm about in 2026, by the way, Shep. Patient and slow. When we get into the Kyle Whittingham conversation and Bryce Underwood, you'll see the patience and taking it slow. You have to get this pick right.
You do, because he's gotten two of them wrong so far.
1,000%.
I don't want to be negative.
No, tell the truth.
But
tell the truth.
He has had the chance to hire three offensive
Shout out to Will
coordinators.
Smith.
Anthony Lynn didn't work out.
Nope.
Ben Johnson did. John Morton has not. Yeah. That is not so far. I mean, you're 1-2. That's not a great record.
So, I don't know anything about David Blau as it relates to him being a coordinator. So this isn't about David Blau. This isn't about me negating what he is. This is about what this moment is. I am not, as a head coach, as well as Brad Holmes, as well as the whole Holy Trinity, I'm not just trying to bring a guy in here because there's familiarity. I'm not just trying to bring a guy in here because, oh, you know what, I think there may be something to this guy. He could be the next. You're an assistant right now. Like, you have one of the best skill sets in the league when you look at the talent, when you look at what this can be. You got to bring somebody in here that can get the most out of your horses. Because like Kool-Aid said, you got some Ferraris in the driveway. Don't bring another guy in here that's trying to drive them like golf carts.
Yeah.
Like, we need you to understand how to use the clutch, how to turn it up. So you got to bring somebody in here. And there's a couple lists, and I think that's the game right now.
You know what?
What's the list? Who is it? Who are you leaning towards? Because I got a name. And there's a couple others.
There is some news. Just real quick, you guys talked about the Giants, and obviously the news is John Harbaugh and the Giants are flirting. He's been doing his homework on Jackson Dart. But there's also some other news that just came out.
Hit me.
Chiefs OC Matt Nagy is unlikely to return to the team, even if he doesn't secure a head coaching job.
So I'm like that's interesting.
That's interesting to me.
Yeah, I would steer clear of that because I think that's all Andy Reid in Kansas City. I don't want to be negative in association. Scotty Montgomery's done a nice job. Hank Fraley's done a nice job. That's fine. I don't want to say because they were part of the guard that, They shouldn't get it.
You need
right?
new blood.
So that's what I was going to ask you. How important is it to go outside the organization, number one, without guilt by association? That's not what I'm talking about. I know they're internal candidates. And the other thing is I've read a lot, and these guys are all insiders, and I respect the hell out of them. I really do. They're coming up with different names, and that's their job. The job in the news media, finally people are doing their job, is, hey, this is something we're talking about. I'm going to bring up Thomas Brown, the New England Patriots passing coordinator. With all due respect, no. If you give me Brian Callahan, okay, former head coach, Tennessee, Cliff Kingsbury, Washington. I know, one up, one down, but there are. I want somebody. This is not just for name's sake. I want somebody who has a proven track record. Now, if you don't get that person, what does it tell me? It tells me that Dan Campbell is likely calling plays again. And that's what I'm trying to avoid. And maybe that's wrong of me, but that's where my mind immediately goes with this whole process.
I think Dan Campbell is not calling plays. I think for him, I think he understands. Maybe not to say that. That's too assumptuous. I feel as though Dan Campbell won't want to call plays this coming year. I feel like, look, he's at his best when he can roam the sidelines as the head coach and the head coach only. I think he's at his best, talked about this a little bit yesterday, when he can roam the hallways of Allen Park during the week and go into all the different rooms. He can go in the defensive coordinator room and the offensive coordinator room, go watch some film with the tight ends, go watch some film with the linebackers, see what he sees, have those conversations. When you're the offensive coordinator and the head coach, you can't do both. At least he hasn't figured out how to do both. If you're talking about bringing in somebody with stability, I like that. Somebody that's proven the whole 9 yards, sure.
Yeah, I don't care if you have to replace him after a year. I really don't.
Kevin Stefanski is a name that comes up because he is the head coach. We know he is as offensive coordinator. I think he could be good here. Brian Daboll, he was my offensive coordinator in Cleveland. You saw what he was. You see how I skipped over that. You see how I skipped over that. But you see what he was when he was with the Buffalo Bills. They haven't been that good on offense since he left. Obviously, they had a wide receiver too. But when you say passing game coordinators,
I would like that. I would like Kevin Stefanski. I think that
I would too.
Yeah.
But kind of passing on the passing game quarterbacks, it just depends on where that guy is coming from, man. I look at, I want somebody that comes from the Sean McVay tree. Like, and if I'm too caught up in what this era is, then so be it. I want somebody that has come from Sean McVay that understands what this game is, and there's a long list of laundry names that have coached under him and gone on to success. He has an offensive passing game coordinator right now whose name is Nate Shieldhouse. And the reason why I like this opportunity, look at what their offense is, look at what our offense is. They have two wide receivers that are studs, they got two running backs that are studs, and they have a tight end that's a stud. He came back the last game, Tyler Higbee. Like, that's a very similar situation to Jared Goff, Sam Laporta, Amon-Ra St. Brown, Jamison Williams, and then Sonic and Knuckles in the backfield. And also you have a quarterback that is very similar in how they play and how they see the game. That's somebody, when you look at Sean McVay's, his track record, just to go down the list a little bit, Matt LaFleur, under Sean McVay. Kevin O'Connell. Zach Taylor. I may not like him as a head coach, but as an offensive mind,
would love it.
That's another guy. That could be a sneaky name. Because I don't see him getting any head coaching jobs anytime soon.
But he hasn't been fired yet.
Yet.
That's the key word.
You say it 100%. Liam Cohen.
Duval.
Liam Cohen, who came from Sean McVay. Then he went to.
Didn't Brandon Staley come from that tree as
well?
He
did. He did. Brandon Staley came from that tree. Yeah, it didn't. He couldn't figure it out. He was a defensive guy, but couldn't figure it out. Those offensive-minded players have come from under Sean McVay, who came under Kyle Shanahan. They coach, they see the same way, they talk, they communicate with each other, like until they play each other. That's the type of tree. I want Bobby Slowick.
I like that.
Like the Houston Texans haven't been the same on offense since year one for C.J. Stroud. Guess who their coordinator was? Bobby Slowick. Where did he come from?
That's a good one.
Sean McVay and Kyle Shanahan.
You know who else is from that tree?
Who?
And he's available, but he's not an OC.
Raheem Morris.
Right.
Yeah. DC.
Really like him. Thought he got a raw deal in Atlanta. Thought he should have stayed. Thought he had another shot there.
His GM got him fired.
Yeah, he was. They were connected to the hip.
They were like, look, if we fire one, we're firing both.
Exactly.
They wanted to fire Fontenot, and they was like, hey, look, hey, we appreciate what you did in the season, we really do, but he got to go, so you have to go.
They played their asses off for him. They really did.
That's the other thing. Going back to the Lions and watching that game, a lot of people believe that the locker room was starting to that Dan Campbell was starting to lose the locker room a little bit. Now I think it's a little premature, for that. Okay. But that was the thoughts. When you lose 3 in a row, when you're doing things that you haven't done, when you're playing not in a manner that you've played before, and when the coaches look like they're scratching their head on the sidelines, I could understand that. When you see how that team played this past Sunday, that lets you know they made a statement. We playing for Kelvin Shepard, and we damn sure playing for Dan Campbell.
Yeah, I agree with that, and I love that part of it. I think when you see Amon-Ra St. Brown go out and give the type of effort that he did, and he's a captain, but I thought during the week when Jared Goff came out and people said, why would you play in this game? It was almost an insulting question to him. Yeah. And he says, because I'm the quarterback of this football team. I play on Sundays. In other words, don't question me. You can question my ability. You can question my escape ability and my running ability and my 40-yard dash if you want, okay? There's 2 things you cannot question. That's my heart and my wife, how good-looking she is. So those are 2 things that are really important when it comes to Jared Goff. I love that about him.
That was the first time that he was a smart ass that's the first time one of the players this year was a smart aleck at the microphone that I actually was cool with. Because all that other stuff, it came to a halt in week 18 or week 17. You're like, I knew something was up with those comments, but
I remember that he was on that phone call.
He got a little defensive, but that comment I appreciated 100%. Like that's what it's about, man. It is about. This is a game which I play because I love. This is a game that I play for 2 things. I play for the name on the front. I play for the name on the back, and that's what Sunday looked like. I care about this, and I care about that.
Yeah, we could say it's been a disappointing season.
Yeah, 1,000%.
We all know that.
It's a bad season.
Been an underachieving season as well. There's a difference between excuses and explanations. I don't think there are excuses, but we can explain the fact that when you lose as much talent as they lost up front on offense and on the back end defensively, combined with some underwhelming performances, Marcus Davenport, then I think you can understand why they finished 9-8.
I wanted to make a Mike Jones reference, but I'm trying to be better in 2026.
1-7, Tuesday out, 8-0.
I mean, he said Marcus Davenport. He threw up the lob, man.
He did.
I could say a number of different guys. You know what? You know what's funny though?
Like who?
I was after the game against Chicago.
That defense better look different next year.
Oh, it better look a lot different. Good. That's why I was said, who else is? I love Raheem Morris, but anyway. After that win over Chicago, how many times have people talked or written or put on social media about, hey, this is why you can maybe let Aleem McNeil go because look at the type of effort you got from Wingo on this play. And I thought to myself, are you effing kidding me? Yeah. 1 game? You're going to base it on 1 game to get rid of what you hoped would have been a top 5 defensive tackle for a guy who hasn't played all year, and you're going to judge it 1 game? Wow.
I like Mekhi Wingo out of LSU, but you're exactly right. Pump the brakes on that, like 1,000%. Aleem McNeil, I will. This is another conversation that we're going to have to get into is the restructuring of deals, because that's going to be a very big emphasis in the 2026 offseason. But restructure Aleem, let DJ Reader go. Move on from DJ Reader, and then Talik Williams and Aleem, they'll be your interior. And maybe that's why Talik Williams was drafted last year, is because they already had plans to move on from DJ Reader.
Agreed.
But
I would want Roy Lopez back.
Yeah.
So here's
on a short-term deal. Now, this is me being greedy. I'm the front office guy, and I'm like, listen, loved you on the 1-year contract. Thanks for all that you did. Right. I know you liked it here. I'm not going more than 2 years. If you got to go someplace else and find the 3 to 4, go right ahead. You're not getting more than 2 here. Sorry. That would be my philosophy.
He's probably the best interior defensive lineman this year. So.
I agree. I think he's the most consistent.
So just what does the ticket look like for him? Because obviously you know who else had 11 sacks this season. Well, not who else, but you know who had 11 sacks this season.
Mr. Real Good.
AQM.
Right.
His ticket is going to go up. And what is the ticket on AQM? What is the ticket on Roy Lopez? And is it something that you can make happen?
Yeah,
that ticket's too much. Like they weren't good enough for me to pay
I
that.
thought it was like what 8 to 11 million for AQM and I think 6 to 8 million for Roy.
Yeah, like AQM is gonna be what the market dictates, and I have a feeling that he's gonna
Within
get
the higher end.
It's gonna be like 12 to 13 a year.
Do you really? For Roy Lopez?
Not Roy
No,
Lopez,
no.
AQM.
Oh, AQM.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
No, I agree with Kool-Aid. Lopez will be around 5 to 7.
Okay.
Yeah, 5 to 7, 5 to 8.
This is going to be a very interesting offseason on how we'll be able to talk about this moving forward, but on how a guy like Brad Holmes handles this type of situation. Because, man,
He hasn't had to.
he hasn't had to, and he's got some tough decisions coming his way. Really tough decisions. We'll get more into that on the other side for sure. Let's take a quick break. Smoothie King and Sharon's Heating and Air Conditioning are good friends of ours. Glad they're with us still in the new year.
Yeah, I'm glad we are here with Smoothie King, and it is that time. Yesterday we talked about those ingredients, man. Make sure you stop at Smoothie King. Make sure you fill up, because that energy, the refueling, you think I'm blowing smoke when I talk about the real ingredients, the real fruit. You know how important it is to have real fruit other than this BS they're selling you?
Right.
I'm telling you. Get the Smoothie King, man. This is what it's about, putting the right... You gotta put the right things in your body. You want to be elite, you put the right things in your body. And don't forget about the High School Athlete of the Week, sponsored by Smoothie King, man. We'll get back into that this season. It was a great progress. We had 12 outstanding young men and women that are doing it at a very high level. Smoothie King was one of the biggest reasons we were able to do that. Make sure you pull up.
We talk about good people from Smoothie King and the High School Athletes of the Week. Yeah, for sure. Really good people at Sharon's Heating and Air Conditioning, treating you the way you deserve to be treated. Reliable service for over 40 years. Treating you like family, treating your neighbors like family, making sure they are there, fast, dependable, emergency service when you need it most. It's going to get cold here. You've already experienced a little bit of it. You've got to make sure that your furnace and your heating is intact and working. Sharon's Heating and Air Conditioning can do that for you. They are experts, and I don't use that word lightly. They are experts in that field. Check out their website, sharonsheating.com. It will help you navigate anything you need, or it's always good to call a business and get a real person, isn't it? Don't you love that? Absolutely. Sharon's Heating and Air Conditioning will be there to answer the call. I don't know if it's Sharon. I just know it'll be a person. 734-238-3805, and tell them the Braylon Edwards Show sent you.
Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, and claim your throne for a king's treatment from one of our talented stylists. Open 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. Just get to a Lady Jane's today and receive a precision haircut, scalp massage, hot lather neck shave, and a hot towel treatment. A haircut should not be a chore. It should be an experience. And that's exactly what Lady Jane's has to offer. Open 7 days a week. Walk-ins are always welcome. There's always a location near you. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. It's wicked awesome.
Like a frostbite straight from the divine. Cold rush on my skin feels so fine. Muscle freeze, the ache. No side effects, no mistake. Chill Sub-Zero. Icy and true. Feel the chill. It's all for you. It's not magic, just science play. Chill Sub-Zero.
Big injuries, big news. Twice a week, Dr. Jeff Pierce from Michigan Sports and Spine joins Woodward Sports Network for the Injury Insider Report. Big D Energy Tuesdays at noon. Braylon Edwards and Shep Thursdays at 3:30. Get expert analysis and in-depth breakdowns on the latest sports injuries from the man trusted by top athletes in the community, like D-Mac. Whether it's the Lions, Pistons, Tigers, or Red Wings, Dr. Pierce talks us through it all. Don't miss the Injury Insider Report with Dr. Jeff Pierce, your go-to source for understanding the impact of injuries on the games and players we love. Only on Woodward Sports Network. Scan the QR code on the screen or go to MichiganSportsandSpine.com to see if Dr. Jeff Pierce can help you. Looking Looking for your daily sports fix? Look no further. Join Braylon Edwards, the University of Michigan legend.
Lofting it, right corner of the end zone for Braylon, up in the air. Touchdown, Michigan!
And Shep.
Do you believe this comeback?
Your favorite sports commentator as they tackle the hottest topics in the world of sports. Catch the Braylon Edwards Show with Shep, Monday through Friday from 2 to 4 p.m. on the Woodward Sports Network. Get ready to laugh, learn, and love sports like never before. The most talked about Detroit media by other Detroit media, and we love it. It's the Woodward Sports Network. The most talked about Detroit media by other Detroit media, and we love it. It's the Woodward Sports Network. No one gives away more cash and prizes than Woodward Sports. You don't believe us? Here's our latest $10,000 winner.
You guys posted, hey, if you guess all this stuff right, we'll give it's $10,000. I'm like, okay, well, why the hell not?
And the winning doesn't stop there. How about our Outkick Your Coverage winner?
I think you won. We got
This guy's got a hot girl.
Bigger prizes, bigger giveaways, cash, merch, tickets, and more. All from the biggest sports network in Detroit. No one does it bigger and better than Woodward Sports. Make sure you're following, liking, subscribing on Instagram, Facebook, X, and YouTube for your chances to share in the winning. From Detroit's #1 sports network, Woodward Sports.
Why do we fight? We fight to protect the innocent, to hold the powerful accountable, to bring the oppressors to justice. Why do we fight? We fight to secure and preserve our civil liberties, to get each and every one of our clients the justice they deserve, and to make the lives of real people just like you whole again. ThenFights.com.
Wicked Pickle people, it's almost here. Listen up, it's your last chance to register for the Woodward Sports Wicked Pickle Open, January 9th through the 11th. It's 3 days of non-stop pickleball action, men's, women's, and mixed and singles divisions. This is where champions are. I'm supposed to be. I'm still.
No. That's not what I asked you. I know you're supposed to be. Are you playing? I'm looking for some type of commitment here.
I'm supposed.
You know what, Bomber?
Hall of Fame, but I'm not.
Bomber, Brendan Bomber, put Kool-Aid down, man. Lock it in there. Shep got me.
Okay.
It's something about that Shep motivation.
And who's your partner?
I think it's supposed to be JB Smooth.
Oh, okay.
JB Smooth. Yes,
all right, good.
Oh no.
Well, my guess is
that's like top liver.
Listen, I can promise you this: Braylon's the general manager. He may ask to trade after the first game with me. You'll see. If you've seen Bachelor Party with Tom Hanks back in the day, where he's playing tennis against his soon-to-be father-in-law, and he hits one over the fence, and he said Cleveland wins the pennant. That's going to be me. So I'll guarantee you, Braylon's going to go, hey, Anson, how do I make a trade for Kool-Aid? Go ahead. Sorry.
You know what? That's why you guys want to be tapped into this. Shout out to Randall Smalls for already getting a jump on it.
Randall.
He's like, I'm going to be there. You guys want to be there. Scan that QR code. But pickleballtournaments.com. You want to be a part of this, man. I'm telling you. Pull up. And if you can't, make sure you're tapped into the live broadcast. Shout out to the heavies, man. So it's Friday night, 7:30 p.m. The Woodward Sports Celebrity Tournament. It hits the court.
They're playing.
All your favorite Woodward Sports personalities throwing down, man. Can't wait.
The heavies, I believe, are the odds-on favorite to win.
The heavy.
Yeah.
This is going to be interesting. Hey, listen, I'm not counting
That's what
out
Vegas is telling us.
Last time someone counted out one of the heavies, we saw Easy actually get the only WSN championship in history.
They want to. They cannot wait. Trust me, I've heard them. I've got a little bit of I got a microphone in the office back there. They want the smoke, in the words of Braylon Edwards.
Show up, folks. Y'all want to be there? I'm going to probably need that chair after.
I'm 3-0 in the Woodward Sports events that I played in, is all I'm saying.
See? I told you.
I won bowling. I won, what was it?
You won the basketball?
Folding.
Basketball out at the Midway.
Top golf. Actually, I'm 4, because I also won Basketball.
Yep.
Downtown Campus Martians.
Yep. I remember that one. I was right there.
Eat them W's, man, like J-Mo.
Why was he? Was it dunking in your face? Is that how you remember it? Kool-Aid?
Ballin'.
I took the tapes, man. I was on my LeBron James. We all gonna need that massage chair though. After
We certainly will. And Shep may have never had a massage, but check it out. You don't need to search for a masseuse. You don't need to schedule that massage.
Good call, Cam.
All you
You're
gotta
right.
do is visit Massage Chair House, Bloomfield Hills. Bring that masseuse to you. It is the largest massage chair showroom in the Midwest, featuring top-tier brands like Infinity and Osaki. This is your destination for premium comfort and cutting-edge wellness tech. Experience the difference with Dr. Eric Duncan, the wellness doc and creator of the #1 YouTube channel for massage chair reviews at The Wellness Doc. Book your visit today at massagechairhouse.com or simply scan the QR code on the screen at Massage Chair House, your ticket to ultimate recovery and relaxation.
I will say this though, Shep. You pay a little less getting a massage and buying one of those massage chairs. I promise you that. Kool-Aid, what you got for us over there, brother?
We got a whole bunch of super chats, and I just saw like 10s
Shout
and 20s.
out to the
flying.
fans, man.
So
We
I was
appreciate
like,
you
I
guys
could
for
have
being
paid
here,
them some
man.
attention.
Oh, excuse me, the chat.
Shout out, chat.
They've evolved. They're no longer fans. They're chat. It's family.
Yeah, that's what it is.
The chat.
Family. Yeah.
Fam.
I like that, man.
Family.
I'm gonna start here with 10 and 21. J-Rod Sayers with the $10 super chat. Number 2 crown says, "Happy New Year, fellas. Keep up the great work in 2026. Kool-Aid, thanks for the shout out in the 2025 review show. Don't forget to keep your eyes on Grand Valley State University basketball teams, both men's and women's." And J-Rod, how could we not shout you out, man? The desserts, come on, bro, you threw it down.
I didn't know that. I didn't know about Grand Valley. Okay.
What? Something Shep didn't know about?
About the Grand Valley basketball teams? No, I did
at
not know
you.
that. I did not know that.
Keep those facts and stats coming.
All right, that's good. Now,
Shout out
see,
J-Rod.
this is what they help us.
Yeah.
They help us force us to look a little bit wider. You know, I mean, we looked at Ferris State because they won a national championship again. We looked at, and of course, you know, Trinidad Shambles. We looked at Western Michigan hockey a year ago
Very
because
true.
they
Shout out
won a national
Justin
championship.
Chitawa.
But what about the teams
Ferris
that he's
State.
bringing up, like Grand Valley, who are having good basketball seasons? What about Grand Rapids Griffins? Look at their numbers. Stupid numbers, right? Just 2 regular season losses, I think.
Record-breaking season.
Yeah, those people deserve some credit, so I'm glad they brought that up. Thank you.
That's fine, man. And Curtis Schultz, $20 super chat, #1 crown today. He says, "Can we get Braylon to do the hot, crazy matrix on the big screen like he does football plays with the breakdown?"
The hot, crazy matrix. You know what I'm saying? I can tap into that. You know, why not? The fans ask for it. We'll figure it out. You know, what you guys clamor for, we'll find a way to make happen. We'll find a way to make that happen.
I'll read this last one.
Yeah,
We'll
please
save
do.
some of it
Yeah.
for a little bit later, but I ain't
Right.
say that. $5 super chat. He says, "Would it make sense to see what his coaching teachers, Bill Parcells and Sean Payton, did in similar situations when finding an offensive coordinator?" And that's as it relates to Dan Campbell.
Ask that again.
He said, would it make sense to see what his coaching teachers, basically what Dan Campbell's mentors, Bill Parcells and Payton, what they did in a similar situation when finding offensive coordinators?
Yeah, I mean, that would be interesting. That would be interesting to see. But I'm pretty sure this was a conversation that was already had last year. And I'm pretty sure this is a conversation that he's going to have to pull back from last year. He's going to have to make this one on his own.
Yeah, I would. I don't know all the disciples of Bill Parcells, but I would worry about Eric Mangini because he was.
He's one of my coaches too, by the way.
I knew he was. Jim Fossil would worry me, and Bobby Petrino would worry me. I mean, those examples is what I'm saying. I'm not saying they would bring any of those guys in.
No, I know.
Here, right?
It would. I'm agreeing.
And which actually is a really good transition to.
Mangini was good in terms of his knowledge. Like, I've never been around anyone that had more football acumen than Eric Mangini. One-on-one, he was a really good coach. You go in his office, you have conversation, you sit down, you felt comfortable when you left the office. You felt like you guys had a conversation. You felt like, all right, cool, we're on the same page moving forward. Where he struggled, just in my opinion as a player, was around the whole team.
I see.
Like around the whole team, he tried to pull the Bill, much like they all do. He tried to pull the Bill Belichick and try to. You haven't done that yet. You haven't won like that yet, and now it seems disingenuous because this isn't the energy that you had 40 minutes ago. Like how we come on the field, you turn to a different person. So
Mangini's that's a good point. Mangini's associated with Belichick. That's the tree.
Yeah.
The tree that's Belichick's tree. I think Parcells' tree would then be Belichick. It would be
Cornell.
Ray Handley.
Yeah.
If you remember Ray Handley, who was part of the Giants organization. Tom Coughlin, which is a really good one, right? Al Groh, who coached the Jets, if you recall, who was awful. Chris Palmer.
I got a Tom Coughlin. Since you already know the answer, it's a trivia question. He's the answer. Who's the first coach to be the number 1 seed in both divisions? And the answer would be Tom Coughlin.
Tom Coughlin. With
the Jaguars and then obviously
and the Giants. Yeah. He was a really good coach. He really was.
He's one of those situations, not a cautionary tale, but whatever the opposite side of a cautionary tale, he would be that because a lot of people fell out of favor with what he was. When he was in I learned this from Mark Brunell, who was a quarterback for a game when I was with the Jets. Now he's a quarterback coach here. He said he was a hard ass. He said like he was his way, the highway. He lost the locker room in Jacksonville and kind of started to happen when he was with the Giants. Giants basically told him, hey, look, like Michael Strahan came up there, Tiki Barber came upstairs, and they talked to management, they talked to the Mars. Said, we got to get this old guy up out of here. And they talked to him, and he changed his ways in an older age. He became more loose, became more free, started to let his coordinators operate, let his coordinators work, was a little bit less on his players, goes to 2 Super Bowls and actually went to 3 Super Bowls and wins 2 of those. That was all after the Tiki Barber and conversation.
That's cool.
That doesn't happen.
You're right.
Like, same, we talk about Jim and Ann Arbor, like that. Changing that late in the game doesn't happen, so kudos to Tom Coughlin.
Yeah, good for you. That's a great story. And credit to him, but credit to Strahan and Barber for going up there and saying, look, I mean, he's either got to go or he's got to change.
Yeah.
It's one or the other. And I don't think they were looking at it like we want to run the team. They just want it run differently. Right. Yeah. He's just not it.
Amani Toomer actually told me that story too.
That's a good one. By the way, Todd Haley was part of that tree, and so was Sean Payton. He was part of the Parcells tree.
I didn't like Todd Haley, but he was a really good offensive coordinator at times.
Yeah, I think he's now on NFL radio. Speaking of head coaches and guys who, we mentioned some names who were in college. The name that a lot of people are talking about now is Curt Cignetti. Rich Eisen has brought it up on NFL Network, and others have brought it up. Dan Patrick has brought it up as well, where you get Curt Cignetti and for the Raiders specifically, and you get Fernando Mendoza, the Heisman Trophy winner, which to me, a little bit of a reach there to just automatically. But let's just talk about Cignetti in general.
He's not a number 1 pick overall.
I don't think he is either.
He's an RPO quarterback. Get out of here.
But would you say that
Braylon jobs.
Braylon facts. Would you say that Cignetti is a guy who could make the transition? Because college coaches, I looked this up not too long ago. College coaches have had a difficult transition in general. I'm painting it with a broad brush.
Yeah.
All right. Sean Payton, or not Sean Payton, Nick Saban, 15 and 17.
Yeah.
Pete Carroll is the exception to the rule.
Yeah.
True. Matt Rule, 11 and 27. Way back in the day, John McKay was a really good coach at USC. Right. He goes to Tampa, massive struggle, 44 and 88. Creamsicles, which they then brought back, which I think look really good. Dennis Erickson, Oregon State, right? He goes to Seattle, the Seahawks. He also was at Miami, of course.
Urban Meyer.
And he was 40 and 56. Butch Davis, you're familiar with. 24 and 35.
He got fired the year I got there.
Okay.
So I just missed him by, a season.
He went from Miami, right?
Miami to Cleveland.
Yep. Urban Meyer is familiar. Chip Kelly, problem. Lou Holtz, 3 and 10. Steve Spurrier, 12 and 26 in the NFL. A guy like Jim Harbaugh, it's rare where you go college to the pros, have success. Obviously went back to Michigan, and now he's in the pros still having success.
I don't think Kurt Cignetti at 64 and finally figured it out with this organization, and we'll get into that because I actually believe more in Indiana than I thought I would. I believe a lot more in them than I thought I would. We can talk about that in a second, but it's a different day. And that's what I'll say. It's a different day as it relates to the NFL and college. Back then, when all those coaches were trying to get into the game, and even with Urban's Urban. So he's a butthole, tried to do it his way, and it did not work out. Yeah. But for the most part, those other coaches, college football was one thing, and the NFL was a totally separate thing. College football now is the NFL. It's the NFL junior. The conversations, how coaches talk to players, how players can, I don't want to say get away and make it seem like they do, but how they can kind of beat to their own drum a little bit, how they get a little bit more rope, the things that you can do start in college. So when you come into the NFL, it's really a similar place. Back in the day, it was like, who's this college coach going to come in here and be all disciplinary? I'm not listening to that. I'm a grown man. I'm 35. I got kids. I'm playing this league 9, 10 years. It's not that way anymore. Because coaches are coming in and coaches are understanding. No, I get it. Because I had to talk to my collegiate players like that, same way I'm going to talk to the NFL players like that. So if you got a guy that can come in and understand that, but also add a little bit of that disciplinary and a little bit of that attitude, that's what Cignetti is. I think you can bridge that gap today because it's the minor league to the NFL now. So it's very similar into how you operate, what the scheduling is, and what's expected of you. It's very similar now, so I think somebody could make some noise.
We always talk about does his way work in any sport.
Yeah.
Okay? I don't care what sport they're playing or where they were coaching. We always say, does their way work? Kurt Cignetti seems like, I mean, and this is pumped up by the national media and anybody who's broadcasting games.
Google me.
And that is, hey, he doesn't smile. Oh, my gosh, he did smile, right?
Yeah.
He's got the famous line, I win, Google me, right?
Yep.
Does his demeanor work in the National Football League, do you think?
It does, because I have an inkling that when he gets to the NFL, if he were to go to the NFL, that he would dial that down a little bit. Okay. Like, I don't think he would be getting interviewed by Susie Colbert after the game and telling her to Google me. Like, I don't think that would happen in the NFL. But I think a lot of that is who he is out front is not who he is with the players. It's not who he is when you go in the conference room. It's not who he is when you talk to him as a player and you go in his office or he's talking to parents. I think he's chill, laid back, cool, hanging out, guys are having fun. Mm-hmm. But they know when they get in that weight room, they got to work their ass off. They know when they get on that field for those 2.5 hours or however long practice is now, you got to come to play. You got to come to work. You got to watch the film. I think he is a Pete Carroll. See, I played for Pete Carroll. Now, difference in the sense, Pete's bright. And this and that and blah, blah, blah.
But you talked about how he kept it loose, too. Made it fun.
He don't play those games when you're on the football field, though. Okay. And that's what I'm saying. I think it's just the opposite. Like, Pete puts out that, hey, how you doing? And what's going on? And, hey, catch this pass. And I'm shooting hoops. When you get on that football field, Pete is about business. And I think that's Kurt Cignetti as well. He's just serious demeanor. Behind closed doors, though, man. Kurt's kicking in with his player. He's really a lighthearted guy. But you got to come to play.
Kool-Aid had mentioned just prior to the break, he was talking about Al-Qadim Muhammad and how much he's going to make. Before we go to another break, I wanted to ask you: would you pay him that kind of coin?
No,
I wouldn't either. Even though he had 11 sacks, as my buddy, man, he gets his haircut. Why do you think he comes to Lady Jane's all the time to get his haircut? There's a reason for that. He doesn't need a haircut.
I have an inkling.
Yeah,
I have an inkling. His eyes work.
His eyes do work. 11 sacks for Al-Qadim Muhammad. That is, so he's had 11 one season with Detroit. I don't know if it's scheme. I don't know if it's the players that he's playing with. I don't know. Maybe a light bulb went off and he got it.
Yeah.
But his previous 7 years, he had 16 sacks, 17 sacks. That tells you, I mean, it can't be both, can it? It's either the system with the players,
right,
or he was finding the fountain of youth. I don't know what it is, but I wouldn't pay it because he has not proven, based on his track record, that he would be worth that kind of coin.
Yeah, and also, too, man, you're talking about paying AQM, who's not on the field a lot. He's really only on the field for those passing situations, whether it's third and long, whether it's or third down, second and long, passing opportunities. He's not playing that much. So I'm going to pay him $12 to $13 million a year, and I know that he's not good in the run game. And I know that I can't get anything out of him in short yardage situations or first downs or whatever. So $12 million is a lot for that.
Played 41% of the snaps this year.
It's a lot, but on the flip side, we talk about you need somebody opposite Aiden Hutchinson. That's what we've been clamoring for. That's what we're asking for. So it gets to the point where you're like, do you trust him to go out there and do that again when he's never done it?
So there's two ways I could look at this. He plays 41% of the snaps, and he gives me 11 sacks. He also gives me a career high in 9 tackles for loss. That's what I've been bitching about.
Okay.
That's what a lot of people in Detroit have been bitching about. Okay. If logic might tell you, might is the key word here, if you increase his percentage of snaps, maybe his production goes up. Some may say it could go down. I use this example all the time. When I ask Mike Babcock, why is Brad Stewart on the third line defense? Why not move him up? He says, because some guys are just really good at where they're playing. Second line defense. Why not moving up to the top pairing? He said, because some guys are just really, really good at where you put them. If that's the case for AQM, I would not pay him the Kool-Aid said between what, $11 and $13 million?
Like the 8 and 11, and Bray thinks it'll probably get up even a little bit higher.
Okay,
than
about
that,
13. Okay, so I would not do that if that's the type of player he is. If you think he can be a player who plays 80% of the snaps and can still deliver production.
I mean, y'all are making some good points, and I see here in the chat, which impending Lions free agent do they need to bring back? The chat, they believe 55% of them said Lopez, definitely. Only 8% said AQM, but 29% said bring them both back, whereas 8% said neither. So 55% for AQM, 55% for Lopez, 8 for AQM, 29% of the chat said bring them both back.
Okay, hear me on this one. How it looked from the defensive line point of view in terms of how the yards were given up by the Detroit Lions against other opponents, what it looked like at the end of the season, you can't pay these two a total of, let's just throw it out there, 20 would be on the higher side. Let's say 17, 18.
Okay.
Let's say 17, 18.
It's realistic.
I'm playing $18 million for these two players on this defensive line. And let's go through the games, and let's go through how many yards we're giving up. Let's go through how many passing yards, how many touchdowns, how many non-sacks. I don't want to hear about the pressures. In the moments, like you got the 11 sacks, and that's cool. And Aiden has 13 and a half. It was a good comeback season for him. But in the moments, where were those sacks in the big moments? Where were those sacks when you needed them? Where were those sacks when it was third and long in the Steelers game? Where were those sacks against the list goes on? So that's $20 million to see what I saw last year? No, thank you. I'm not trying to play $20 million or $18 million for these two players to see what I saw last year. And now part of that is DB play as well. Like you got to lump the DBs in with that because the DB play was not good.
Do I read too much into the snap count, do you think?
How much people are playing?
Yeah, Aiden Hutchinson played 91% of the snaps.
Yeah, this
year. 91%. He's a bull. But he gave you 13 and a half sacks, is that right?
Yeah.
Okay. So he had a career high in forced fumbles. He had a career high in sacks.
Had another pick.
Okay, had another pick. There you go.
I do
that's not my stomach growling for buddies. That's legit right there.
Probably did send some sacks towards AQM side as well.
Okay, that's a great point. But if I got a guy playing 91% of the snaps and he's giving me 13 and a half sacks, I got another guy who's playing 41% of the snaps and he's giving me 11. And one guy's making buku dollars. The other guy, one's 30, one's younger. Roy Lopez is only 28. He played 39% of the snaps, and he was effective.
I had this figured out, Shep. He brings the power stat.
What were you going to say? Like you said, you thought I had to figure it out. So you were going to go AQM and run from Lopez?
Yeah, no. I was actually going to go, Roy Lopez. And, thank you for your services this year, Mr. We're Good. But Shep is making some good points. It's just, I get what you're saying. I thought we were better when the secondary was more solid. Really, those safeties, those ball hawks forcing the turnovers from that secondary.
Yeah.
We were still saying we needed more along our defensive line, but I was a lot more sure about our team. And obviously, the offensive line was elite during that time, but at least defensively, in between the 20s, we would give up yards, but in the red zone, they were very, very stout, and that just that went away. And I wonder if it is because of that secondary, more so than even what we had along that defensive line. Kirby used to get in there and pluck those.
Yeah, having the players hurt on I didn't make any excuses about injuries this season, but when you have 2 Pro Bowl, 1 All-Pro, and 1 who I thought was better than the other one who wasn't an All-Pro, when you have those guys out, man, it hurts you. When you don't get the defensive play in terms of the defensive back play, being able to cover in space and allow a little bit of time, a lot of times when you get coverage sacks, the Lions got no coverage sacks. Like their sacks were like in the past game, like either they got the sacks. They weren't coverage sacks because somebody's covering. It's like, oh, we have extra time to get there. So when you look at it that way, if they can get the defensive back play to be better, but there's a lot of money that you got to spend.
Dude, I mean, it really was the perfect storm if you think about it, because DJ Reed, as you pointed out during the season, did not have a very good year. Terrion Arnold, who I thought was going to be a number 1 corner in this league before the season, idiot. I'm calling myself the idiot. Regressed.
It's like a Homer Simpson.
Both safeties get hurt. Obviously, some of your backup corners were not as good, and your inside leverage guys were not very good. That's the perfect storm defensively, and it's topic for another day, maybe tomorrow, about the defensive coordinator. You know, they've done something about the offensive coordinator, and we understand why. The defensive coordinator, I think, is a little trickier because I think he had some dudes, but those dudes didn't always perform. And then he lost some dudes. And the backups didn't perform. And he ain't in charge of picking up the backups, right? That's your GM and your head coach.
Yeah, you might have to put that on the docket tomorrow.
We can.
Yeah. So that's a conversation where I try to look at every side of these things before I make a decision on it. I made the decision on John Morton. I'm struggling right now with the AQM and the Roy Lopez because of the snap counts and, quite honestly, AQM's age and his track record. If I'm going to hold a track record against Marcus Davenport, then I'm going to hold a track record to AQM too.
Also, it's too, man. Like when you're a GM and you're legitimately looking at numbers, you're looking at stats. Like how can I make this work? Okay, I like what this guy did last year. He had 11 sacks for us. He was an upbeat guy. He was a spirited. We need somebody on the opposite side of Aiden Hutchinson. They've been clamoring for it. We finally now know we need that guy. Is this that guy? Am I going to pay this guy this money? And then I look at what he did the 7 years before this year.
Right.
Because that's how GMs think. Like it's a one-off. Like he basically he did. I don't want to say nothing. It's disrespectful. He didn't do much of anything for the first 7 years of his career. 6 was the high, 2 threes, a 1, a 2, and a 0. Like that's what he did in the first 7 years. And then here comes boom, 11. When you're paying money like that, when you're in any profession, and you're looking like, was that a lucky? Was that a luck?
How much of it was a contract?
Was that a lucky year? Was it this? Was it this factor? How can I make this make sense to pay this man $12 million when I see the 7 years before that? That's a tough decision.
Are you one of those guys who believes in that? Kool-Aid just brought up contract year. Do you think players play harder in contract years?
What? I look at it as like a way of life. It's like a way of life. If this is your way of life and you have a chance to make your way of life a lot better, if you dial in, that means no drinking, no partying, no turning up, no women, no this, only focusing on film, football, what Dan Campbell says, what my position coach says, hey, Mom, I love you, I'll call you after the season. Like, if that's all you, yes. It's just like having your back crossed. If you, hey, Shep, would you be stronger in the weight room if somebody said, hey, look, gun to your head, if you don't lift this, I'm going to pull the trigger. I'll find a way to lift whatever it is. Because my back is, what, 100%? You say I got to do what? No. I'm going to make it happen. And I think that's what happens in contract years. Is like,
I'll give you $5,000 if you come up with a really good nickname. I'm going to take the day off work and I'm going to just, what is it going to be? Absolutely.
So, yeah, I do believe in contract years because you understand your life is going to change. Like, and that's real. It's life changing. If you already got money, you're going to get more money. Like, if you don't have any money, you're going to get some money. So, yeah, people dial in more. I've seen cats change. I've seen people just It's like, man, well, he used to hang out. He used to play video games. He used to goof off a little bit. Man, you try to look for him, and they're nowhere to be found because they understand.
Calvin got a job.
Calvin's got a job. The McDonald's commercial or Dave Chappelle, the remake. Yeah. But, yeah, it's nothing to sacrifice for 4 months to dial in. And then after you do it, it's like, cool, I got paid, everything works. Mm-hmm. Now you subtly go back to whatever your
then is it also as a great take
or can
would it be fair to assume then you believe once they do sign the contract, human nature would be exhale and there might be a little bit of a dip?
The only yes, in a lot of situations, but the thing about this situation is belt to ass happened to the Lions this season. So coming back next season, off season, like it's not like you got paid coming off of a playoff run.
Yeah, I get you. Not
or you made to the
sweet.
second round, and it's like, all right, we didn't win the Super Bowl, but it's sweet. We'll be all right. I got paid.
Yeah.
You guys didn't make the playoffs. You almost went under 500, and it's a lot on you. Is this over? People are starting to talk about the SOL. We don't believe in that here, but people outside are talking about SOL. They've lost faith in our head coach, lost faith in us. Let's just say us. It's a different off season from that standpoint. So if he got paid, it would be one of those situations like, yeah, I got paid, cool. You know, hit the Zelle, put it in there. I'm in this weight room. I'm in this film room. I got to be right next to 97. Like if he get paid, he'll be right next to 97, who's the second highest paid non-quarterback in the history of the NFL. I guarantee you 97 is not thinking about all the money he had. Yeah. He's thinking about what this season wasn't. So this would be the perfect year to get paid and actually still keep going.
Dude, that's what I love most about Amon-Ra St. Brown. Okay, he got paid, and he had a better year this year. Didn't have his best year, but he had a better year this year
statistically.
And I'm talking about yards and catches. Okay, I'm not talking about first downs or touchdowns. Which, by the way, first downs
still in the top 3.
Yeah,
touchdowns.
Yeah, first downs. Last year he had 73. This year he had 71.
Yeah.
Okay.
Bummer.
Yeah, and he had one less touchdown. So and please don't bring me the meaningless touchdowns against Chicago. Meant something to him. Meant something to his teammates. Meant something to his GM and his coaches and things of that nature.
And the Bears were trying to win.
Well, you would have thought. Absolutely. They weren't pulling a Philly. Okay, Nick Sirianni getting all cute and everything else like that. I think, and more than anything else, it mattered to him. And I give him a ton of credit. Jamison Williams, same thing. He got paid. He had a better year. Aiden Hutchinson, he got paid. Statistically had a better year. He would know, and you guys would know better than I would, on whether the numbers are lying to us a little bit. But production-wise, they were better.
The pressures that Pro Football Focus tends to make up, they're the worst. Like, stop paying attention to them because they're a pay for hire type of a situation. It's disgusting. But anyway,
I was referring to the sacks, but yeah.
No, I was gonna jump into the sacks. I was gonna say outside of those pressures that they make up, it was for him a better year statistically, and then also coming off the injury, figuring it out on a bad defense, on a defense where your DBs can't help you out, on a defense where your interior push wasn't there at times. When you factor in all the equations, Aiden had it's a bad year for the defense. Aiden had an okay year.
Yeah,
he had an okay year. 13.5 sacks, nothing to sneeze at coming off of an injury. He won't get comeback player of the year because there's two people I think are ahead of him. But next year, I think is the year that we see Aiden take the ride.
You know what though? I like what he was saying as well about
gotta help Aiden though.
Wanting to see AQM in that film study room with Aiden being with your guys. What did we want from JMO before we saw everything take off? We were like, bro,
just stay under 14.
Lock yourself in. There you go.
Stay under 14.
Stay under 14. Go find Jared Goff. And then what were the reports we heard from JMO? It's like, look, I got to get a little bit more mature. I'm working hard. I got to put in the work. And then we saw it manifest itself on the field. And during this process, it was interesting to see even Dan Campbell talk about, look, he's going to get it, but he has to mature. As soon as he locked in and put in that work, it was just all ball from him. And then you see him get the contract, and he still continues on, man. Like, I appreciate the fact that they've been able to identify guys like that. So I do believe if AQM is to get the money, you hope it's more of that.
I think when everybody looks at the early signings that Brad Holmes has had, they have a problem with the Kirby Joseph only because he got hurt. Okay, at the time everybody was saying it was the right thing to do because of the year he had, and people thought it was great. Okay, I was one of them. I'm not going to sit here and armchair quarterback. That's the easy thing to do. Jamison Williams has really, really impressed me over the last 2 years. What I wanted from him as much as anything else, obviously you want him to catch the ball.
Yeah.
For crying out loud, that's his job. I wanted him to play. I wanted him to be available to play. And he was. He played in all 17 games at 15 starts.
Not just deep routes.
Yes. This is what we've learned working the show. He has become, he's not there yet, he has become a better wide receiver. You need that.
Yeah.
And I think moving forward, this kind of ties us back to the OC job. When you dangle a carrot in front of a possible candidate that says, you've got Amon-Ra St. Brown, Jamison Williams, Jahmyr Gibbs, Sam Laporta, Isaac Tesla, who I didn't use nearly enough this year than I should have, and David Montgomery if he's back. We're going to fix the offensive line. You've got a good quarterback. We've got to protect him. Go get creative. Go do your thing.
Where do I sign?
Exactly.
Hey, where do I sign?
Exactly. Oh, and by the way, these guys work. They work their asses off. They block downfield. They do the things every offensive coordinator would want from a player.
Yeah, first thing, if I'm in a situation, I'm the coordinator, I'm going to ask about the offensive line. I said, look, what is the plan? Mm-hmm. Like one thought, like that's the first part of my meeting, and we're going to dive in. What is the plan? Who are we going after at center? Because I don't believe we're drafting a center. I don't think we need to draft the center. That needs to come from the open market. That needs to come from the open market. Tyler Linderbaum, his name keeps coming up. I think he'll be fine. They'll figure it out. They'll get a new coach. But you got to get one on the open market, the center. That will be the conversation. And then from there, this is what you guys are going to do. You're going to restructure. This is who you're going after. This is what you want to do. This is what you want to draft. All right, cool. I'm good on the offensive line. Free range? Shit, where do I sign?
Yeah, amen to that. Right. You brought up Aiden Hutchinson. That's what impressed me most about Myles Garrett's record season. Okay? He's doing it on a team that stinks.
Yeah.
And the team's not throwing that much against him because they're running scores up on him to a certain extent.
Yeah.
And you got to have a buy-in there, man. And his gas level was really high. So I want to talk about that, but I do have something interesting that I want your opinion on when we come back. Okay? From Jack's Car Wash and Les Stanford. Les Stanford, hey, ring in the new year with a new car. You deserve it. Les Stanford is the place to go. I don't care if it's a Chevy, a Buick, a Cadillac, a GMC. Les Stanford has it for you. They've got unbelievable deals at all their dealerships. I was in the Cadillac dealership not too long ago. That XT6 for $359 a month with no tax or with taxes due at signing is an outstanding deal. It's a really good-looking car. It drives really well. You'll get heads to turn like you would at all of their offers right there that you see on the screen. Go to lesstanford.com today.
Also, once you go to Les Stanford and once you bring that car, bring it on down to Jack's Car Wash where they are the best in the state. Today would be a good day to get a car wash. It's a little ugly outside, but it is dry. How about we start out by getting you a free car wash? Text WSN to 888-522-1729. Again, it's WSN to 888-522-1729. Also, a lot of these players from the Detroit Lions and the Pistons, they live in Birmingham, and we get a chance to see them all the time right across the street at Jack's Car Wash. If it's good enough for Amon-Ra St. Brown, then it must be good enough for everybody else.
Big injuries, big news. Twice a week, Dr. Jeff Pierce from Michigan Sports and Spine joins Woodward Sports Network for the Injury Insider Report. Big D Energy Tuesdays at noon. Braylon Edwards and Shepard Thursdays at 3:30. Get expert analysis and in-depth breakdowns on the latest sports injuries from the man trusted by top athletes in the community, like D-Mac. Whether it's the Lions, Pistons, Tigers, or Red Wings, Dr. Pierce talks us through it all. Don't miss the Injury Insider Report with Dr. Jeff Pierce, your go-to source for understanding the impact of injuries on the games and players we love. Only on Woodward Sports Network. Scan the QR code on the screen or go to MichiganSportsandSpine.com to see if Dr. Jeff Pierce can help you. No one gives away more cash and prizes than Woodward Sports. You don't believe us? Here's our latest $10,000 winner.
You know, you guys posted, hey, if you guess all this stuff right, we'll give it's $10,000. I'm like, okay, well, why the hell not?
And the winning doesn't stop there. How about our Outkick Your Coverage winner?
I think you won. We got to call everybody. This guy's got a hot girl.
Bigger prizes, bigger giveaways, cash, merch, tickets, and more. All from the biggest sports network in Detroit. No one does it bigger and better than Woodward Sports. Make sure you're following, liking, subscribing on Instagram, Facebook, X, and YouTube for your chances to share in the winning. From Detroit's #1 sports network, Woodward Sports. Looking for your daily sports fix? Look no further. Join Braylon Edwards, the University of Michigan legend.
Lofting it, right corner of the end zone for Braylon, up in the air. Touchdown, Michigan!
And Shep.
Do you believe this comeback?
Your favorite sports commentator as they tackle the hottest topics in the world of sports. Catch the Braylon Edwards Show with Shep, Monday through Friday from 2 to 4 p.m. on the Woodward Sports Network. Get ready to laugh, learn, and love sports like never before.
You know how some things are so good they should be world famous, but they're not? Our house-made vinaigrette is one of those things. And the antipasto salad, we drizzle it over. Same with our hand-battered chicken tenders. Original recipe soups and pasta sauces. It's almost as if our original world-famous Detroit-style pizza is mocking them. And that's not very nice.
Stop searching for a vehicle and start finding one. Les Stanford Chevrolet Cadillac makes it easy. We harness the power of multiple dealerships and own the biggest selection of GM brands in the area to get you the car you need. With the Les Stanford Group, you'll have access to 4 different dealerships, providing you with more makes, more models, and more choices. We're connected to more than 1,000 vehicles. And with so many high-quality CPO vehicles available, you'll find new car quality at pre-owned prices. You can start and end your search at lesstanford.com today.
Head to woodwardsports.com and click on Shop. Get the latest in Detroit sports apparel and exclusive Woodward Sports gear. Woodwardsports.com can get the whole team outfitted. Love the Pistons, Red Wings, and Tigers? We got something for you, too. Shop online at woodwardsports.com.
Dr. Pierce is the injury insider here at Woodward Sports. He is the guy that's been doing it for a very long time. Ask D-Mac about him. Ask Tim Duncan. Ask the Iceman, George Gervin. We want you to ask him as well. Don't miss him on Tuesdays in Big D Energy, as well as Thursdays here on the Braylon Edwards Show with Shep, where he shares top-tier advice about keeping athletes in peak condition and injuries. Let you know how far they will affect the player or the team. He's here to stay in the game and help you perform at your best. Learn more at MichiganSportsAndSpine.com or 248-426-9944.
You know why it's not good to go shopping and when you're hungry at the grocery store? It's not good to do this show and do these Buddy's Pizza reads because I'm hungry. And Buddy's Pizza is the best in the business. They created the category of Detroit-style pizza back in 1946. They got 20 locations across the state, and right now, save 10% off your entire order, whether it be pizza or whether it be salad or subs or whatever. They've got it all for you. If you use this promo code 10MEAL, that's 10 MEAL, you'll get 10% off. Find the location nearest you by going to buddyspizza.com. Hey, before we dive into some hoops, Pistons play the Bulls tonight. I want your opinion on something.
Okay.
I want you to take a look at this play and tell me what you think it is. I want you to look at this play and tell me what comes to mind. Okay?
Right.
Go ahead.
All right, Aaron Rodgers is back in the day. He's looking right. There's nobody there. Somebody open. That's a hell of a spin move by Jared Allen. Aaron recovers the ball, and Jared Allen tackles him again.
What would you call that?
2 sacks. 2 sacks.
That's a play from 2011.
I was still in the league at the time. I actually played Aaron this year. What would I call it as it resorts to the sack?
Well, it's not a sack.
Oh, because he fumbled the ball and he got outside the pocket.
No. They called it a team sack. This was labeled a team sack. There's only one guy who touches him.
Right.
It's Jared Allen.
Yeah.
Okay? That should be his 23rd sack in 2011.
Oh, that's right.
Okay?
He's still pissed about this, too.
He is pissed about this, and I don't blame him.
He's an angry guy.
He is an angry guy. But I don't blame him in a situation like this. There's some athletes, I mean, they're angry, right? I mean, and some of them are justified. I mean, Barry Bonds is angry quite a bit. This guy's angry quite a bit. You would have thought the gold jacket might have, alleviated a little bit of that. But that's a sack.
That is a sack.
And there's no other player who touches him. Why is this not a sack? They called it a team sack, and I just can't figure it out for the life of me.
Well, that's easy. That's easy. Like the NFL, most organizations, whether it's the NFL, the NBA, NHL, MLB, they want to protect certain numbers and stats. Like they want it to be a certain person that has a record.
Gotcha.
And when you look at the record, like it was great when it was Michael Strahan, who's on TV at the time, who's our guy in the Giants, and he went out on top. He shared the record. Who was before him? Like those names. Reggie White was up there. Bruce Smith. These are names in the pantheon that they have no problem with being the all-time leaders.
Mm-hmm.
Jared Allen wasn't that. Jared Allen was not that, and I think this is a situation where they was like,
control the narrative.
I think so, and it's very ironic that who did Michael Strahan break the record of?
Brett Favre.
And Green Bay. It's the same team.
Yeah.
But I think they like to control the narrative with certain players. Like, if they can, they will. If they can't, like, you can't do nothing about Myles Garrett.
Yeah, you
There's
can't
nothing
do
you can
anything
say
about
about that.
it. Yeah.
But this, I think they cheated him because of they like the fact that Michael Strahan had the record, was on Fox, went out with the Super Bowl. Like, I know it sounds crazy.
No, I
Politics
don't
a real
put that
thing.
past him. I don't put it past
Where's the NFL office at?
New York.
Oh, wait a minute.
Wait a minute.
So this is definitely a sack. The only thing I was going to say is he's outside the pocket, but that doesn't even matter anymore.
The ball falls on the turf.
That's what that actually is. That's a sack strip. That's a sack strip forced fumble.
Correct.
That's
exactly
what that
it
is. So he's missing two stats.
Yeah, I agree.
That's a sack and a
And
forced fumble.
just for the record, if you want to count that as his 23rd, which I think it should be,
Right.
Yeah.
let's just remember that
Say it.
Al Bubba Baker had the record before. And I don't know why people feel like there's some type of secret here. It was 1978. He was Rookie of the Year. And he played for the Lions. Okay. It was
hold on. Now say that same sentence again, and I'm gonna help you out.
It was 1978.
Okay.
He was Rookie of the Year.
So in 1978, they were keeping sack records. By the way, like this is not like Deacon Jones coming in talking about. I would have had 400, which you probably would have. But
he would have.
We don't have actual stats. In fact, they did in 1978. So that's step one where they lied.
So he was a rookie. He was Rookie of the Year. He was also All Pro, first team All Pro, which means more than Pro Bowl. All Pro, all right. Played for the Lions.
There it is. You can stop right there.
Yeah.
Al Bubba Baker played for the Detroit Lions, and he was a rookie. The rookie part didn't help because you know how he felt about young guys back in the 70s, the 80s, and the early 90s. The rookie part didn't help, but it's because he played for the Detroit
Had
Lions.
23 sacks, 4 forced fumbles.
Yeah.
They didn't record tackles for loss back then in 16 games.
Yeah.
Al Bubba Baker in 1978. The rest of his career, he finished with 131 sacks. That's a lot, okay, with Detroit and Cleveland. But Al Bubba Baker was the sack king.
And not in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, I know. It's interesting. Maybe
It's
didn't
political.
win, but,
The lobbying.
no doubt.
That lobbying.
Look, every sport. I don't want to go off on this tangent.
Yeah.
Every sport. That's why I've said
Got it.
forever. The Detroit Tigers and everybody, except for the Red Wings, everybody should. There's nothing wrong with it. I'm proud that this guy wore my uniform.
Yeah.
Get him in. And if they don't get him in, they don't get him in. But it can't be from a lack of trying.
Yeah.
Tigers didn't do it with Lance Parrish. They didn't do it with Jack Morris. They haven't done it with Lou Whitaker. They didn't do it with Mickey Lolich or Bill Freehan. Okay, at least try. The same thing should be done for Al Bubba Baker. That dude was a badass.
How do you have 131 sacks and you're not in
your
the
career.
NFL?
Yeah. Right. Including the record of 23 as a rookie.
Yeah. And he played for 2. The Lions are no longer that. Okay, they're no longer that. But this is a past thing. He played for the 2 worst franchises as it relates to one, just franchising, as it relates to front officing, but as it relates to taking care of their players. The Browns are horrible still to this day, and the Lions used to be until 3 years ago horrible. That is, it sucks for him. That's bad luck by him. 131, but it's the Lions and it's the Browns because neither one of those teams are calling Kenton and saying, hey, what about our guy?
6 or 7 times he had double-digit sacks. I mean, like when you go from 23, you're like, how are you going to duplicate that? 16 the next year, 17 and a half the following season. Before this year, we were trumpeting, here's Trey Hendrickson, 17 and a half sacks in each of the last 2 years. Bubba Baker did that in his 3rd year after having 23 and 16 the previous 2. But anyway, so I wanted to get your thoughts on it. I just wanted to get your thoughts on it. Yeah, he I'm telling you, man, he was awesome to watch.
I told you he talked to me in his barbecue spot.
Yeah.
I walked in. I didn't know him at the time. I had heard the name. I didn't know him at the time. Obviously, I knew Al Bubba Baker. I'm like, okay, I think he played for the Lions as well. We went to the barbecue spot. It was in Avon Lake. I lived in Avon Lake. I was going there to get some barbecue. He's always in there, had the hat on, and legitimately sees me. I know he was like, he said, come. I'm like, all right, cool. Goes talk to him. He said, man, you a damn good player, man. Damn good wide receiver. He said, but you got to be a little more aggressive. He said, you got to go after the ball. When the ball's in the air, and I'm listening as a 23, 24. I'm like, how does this ninja think I got here? like how does this brother think I got here? Like, that's my game, attacking the ball. Well, I went back, watched some film, and he was right. I was being a little bit lazy as it relates to attacking the ball out of the air like I used to at Michigan. Played the Kansas City Chiefs that following weekend, caught a touchdown in the end zone, jumped over 2 people and snatched it. I couldn't wait
to get back
to
there.
Run. He's always at the restaurant, so I knew
Barbecue was fire.
Man, I ran back there, drove, got there after the game on the way home, stopped by. He said, I told you.
We should get him on someday.
He said, I told you. He said, you snatched it.
Let's try to do that. Let's try to get him on someday because he'd be really good. Hey, let's shift gears real quick and from a basketball standpoint. Pistons play the Bulls again tonight. Excited for that, for sure. Why do we think this team needs to make a move? That's what all the people talk about. Well, the national media is like, oh, here's Boston and here's New York, and until Detroit, absolutely schooled New York. But I think part of it is because people are afraid what's going to happen to them is what happened with the Lions and the Tigers. Their GMs weren't aggressive enough, and people felt like there is an attachment to that. And if they don't become aggressive, they're going to miss an opportunity. Why do you think most people feel like they have to make a move when they're played so well?
Because we still don't have a guy that can go out there and get 30 that's not Cade Cunningham. Like, and what they're doing is great. I love the chemistry of what they're building. I love the players. I love it looks very similar to a mix of the Bad Boys and Going to Work Pistons in terms of how the chemistry is and everybody knowing their role, playing hard, both ends of the court. You're starting to see that more. Like, that's the identity. It's tough. It's physical, etc. But when you get in that playoffs, man, like, it's not about 11 guys playing. It's about 7. So consolidating the depth, I think, is one thing that will help them out, and also getting that other guy. Because it's cool to go out there in the regular season and win game after game after game after game, loss, win, loss. But in the playoffs, it's 7-game series. So you got to see guys for 7 games in a row. Can you beat the Celtics in 7 games in a row with what you have? Can you beat the Knicks and whatever they're going to trade 7 games in a row with what you have? I just think you need another guy that can stretch the floor as well as get you 30 when you need it. You don't have that guy right now.
Yeah, I think fully healthy, I think they can. When Jalen Duren and Tobias Harris are healthy, I do. I mean, Karis LeVert back tonight. I do think that they can beat those teams. The difference, I think, and Kool-Aid, I'd love your thoughts on this. The difference is the teams that they're going to play in the playoffs are going to do something about it. They are going to make a move.
Every night you have a chance to adjust. Oh, you're talking before the trade deadline.
Yeah,
1,000%.
I am 100% convinced the Knicks will refuse to stand pat.
He won't be there.
Yeah, he may not be there.
He
may have just gotten engaged. Good for him.
Yeah.
Wait out, kick your coverage. I'm just saying.
Yes,
he
he's nice.
may not be here. I would just say the Knicks are going to do something, and I believe the Celtics will do something.
Yeah.
And, Kool-Aid, I don't know who else you think is their threat.
Cleveland will figure it out by the time we get to
Toronto.
the playoffs. Like, I'm not worried. Like, it's December. Like, Cleveland will figure it out by the time we get to the All-Star break and after.
Yeah. And look, it's been. I don't care when the calendar is. Okay, I'm going to watch this team because first of all, they're fun to watch.
Yeah.
Second of all, this is the way I want the NBA to be played. I can't be hypocritical here. I can't sit there and bitch about the way certain guys act and play the game and isolation and all this other stuff, and then sit there and have a team in our backyard and say, well, it doesn't matter to me. No, it does matter to me. Yeah. It's good basketball. It's entertaining basketball. But I think that you're right. They're going to have to do something because these other teams are not going to stand pat.
They're not. And 100% it gets a little, like I said, it gets a little tight when you get to the playoffs. Like Ron Hollins and Beef Stew and all those guys, with the fighting and the energy and the grit and blah, blah, blah. You got to calm that down because that's penalties in the playoffs.
That's right.
Like your lack of free throw shooting, and that lose you games. Actually lost us games last year against the Knicks. All those games came down to 3 points.
Yeah.
And look what the free throw shooting was. So
and they're not good at the stripe this year.
They're horrible.
They're just not.
They're gonna need it. When you're talking about looking at the playoffs, that's where my mind instantly goes. I think both of y'all are preaching what this team needs to do to bolster who they can be in the playoffs. Whether that improvement comes internally, they got to improve on the free throws, or if they go out and they get somebody, man. But I don't know. I appreciate the fact that. Taking a stop to say, this team is really, really good, and they're doing it in the ways that we asked them to do it. It was defense, it's hustle, it's going all out, and I think that is something that I'm hoping Trajan Langdon, he's shown the ability to augment around that without disrupting that. And so I'm hoping there's a move out there like that if the perfect, number 2 overall players in there, because in the playoffs, you're right, things grind to a lull. And when they didn't have somebody that could go out there and create for their own that wasn't Cade Cunningham, they looked pretty bad. Dennis Schroeder could in a couple games, and guess what? We did good in those games. Yeah. And when that kind of just lulled, and we didn't have anything really after that, this team's offense was just stuck when they couldn't hit that 3.
And that's the other thing, too. Dennis Schroeder is an experienced vet. He's been on the teams. He's been in the finals. He's been to the finals more than once, et cetera. He had that. This is what he brought to the playoffs, that experience. Tobias Harris, he turned it up a notch last year, and that's what you said you're asking him to do, 1,000%. But Cade's going to get tired.
Yeah, how can he not?
Cade's going to get tired. You need another guy to help Cade not have to exert so much energy night in and night out. Because this is on the regular season. Because you know what happens in the playoffs? You can't get load management games in the playoffs.
Not at all.
You can't get, well, you know what? We're doing this thing, so we'll sit Cade the second half. Or
we'll
sit him the second and the fourth. Everyone is playing. Everyone's notch goes up. And when you look at the teams that you'll be playing against, the goal is OKC at the end of the day. The goal is OKC because you're trying to get to the finals and play against them.
Right.
It's just a list of guys that can go out there and give you 25, give you 24.
Or San Antonio. San Antonio's played pretty good basketball.
True. And you heard Shay. Shay said, look, when you keep whooping us, you're better than us. Yeah. So 100%. But then with the Knicks.
I would take OKC.
Here's a player I think would make a lot of people shudder, and Dante151 wanted me to make
Trey
sure
Murphy
I got this
again?
to you guys.
Is this Trey Murphy again?
Not Trey Murphy. A different Trey this time. Trey Young.
Oh, no.
It's been reported by ESPN that his top preferred destination is the Washington Wizards. I couldn't even say that.
Trey Young said that?
Trey Young said that?
What is he saying? Shams reported it, bro.
So
that begs the question. What is it?
What is it about the...
I'm confused. You got a $49 million player option as well. So, if they trade him, I think he's opting into that regardless. Why would you not?
Hell yeah, I'm opting into him. Yeah. Trade. How frail he is. Like, one bad injury, and he's no longer the same player.
I'm not sure. Is there somebody on Washington?
Is it Wembanyama? And did he get traded? Did I not know about this?
I don't think people are growing up saying, I got to play with C.J. McCollum. Are they?
I don't even know how CJ survives that trade. He's probably going to be gone.
But is Alex Sarr the guy? Trey Young. No. I got to go to Washington. No. Why? I want to play with Alex.
No.
He asked for Washington.
No. That's what was reported. That's why I couldn't barely say it. I remember I saw the alert.
I know he's from there. I know he's from Oklahoma.
I think it's it's got to be Chris Middleton. He wants to play with. He's
still in the
league. Piston legend Chris Middleton.
He's still in the league.
He's trying to be in the district, y'all.
Marvin Bagley. Does he want to play with Marvin Bagley?
He's still in the league.
Piston legend Marvin Bagley.
It's like my favorite word. He's still in the league.
That's a fair one with him, actually.
I don't know. He's asking for that. There's got to be something else going on there. Maybe he goes there to go somewhere else, but right. I don't know. I'm not skilled enough to answer that question. The Washington Wizards, they have never been a destination. And you can go back to when Caron Butler and Agent Zero and that
Albert King,
Michael Jordan.
Yeah.
Go that far.
Yeah, right.
Although I will say, I thought that they were actually going to turn that corner, and this is me. I missed on this one. John Wall and Beasley, like when Beasley started putting the ball on the floor and they turned up, I said, ooh, and they got Gortat. I said, this is going to look like something, but they blew it. They lost to Isaiah Thomas.
Man, that's a stunner to me.
Yeah.
That somebody would, I bet you people in Washington, this is great.
Man.
Let's get Trae Young. It shows you. I mean, Atlanta's willingness to move on from him, considering what they could have had and what they surrendered, is pretty interesting. So
they're idiots too. Like that's a somebody. Did we have this topic one time when he talked about Atlanta is like the worst organization, the worst situation? I think we did, like maybe during the season, but they just keep missing and not caring. All I see from Atlanta is money going out and nothing coming in. Like every single year, that's what you see down in Atlanta. I used to live there, so I'm partially a Hawks fan. I was Dominique though. I was down there when Dominique was in his prime at the Omni. Nothing ever goes right. Like even the situation to bring in Trae Young is like, Trae was amazing, but for Luka.
God, remember when John Koncak was given a contract by the Pistons?
What year?
And thankfully, the Hawks matched it because he was going to be John Koncak, flipping John Koncak.
What year was this?
Oh, this is a long time ago.
Yeah, I was like, wait, what?
It was before us, bro.
I think it was before Dominique Wilkins.
It was brutal.
Lenny Wilkins.
Lenny Wilkins. I believe he was the coach, or Mike Fratello, one or the other.
Mike Fratello was Cleveland.
I had to put this graphic back
he was
up
also
on there
Atlanta,
too, though.
yeah.
You're getting some props. I can't even read the whole entire chat. This is
Let it go.
This is from Jacob Craig.
Frozen.
He said, I just got here.
Let it go.
That graphic is epic. Cat is such a, and we'll leave the rest to everyone's imagination.
Flopper.
Shout out Jacob for the chat.
Like, Cat's one of those people, man. Like
That is well done, by the way.
He is an amazing.
Shout out to Braylon, dog. He cooked that one.
No,
in case people were wondering,
Oh.
this is Braylon, this is Anson. Okay, so they're the Men in Black crew, and then you see Karl Anthony Towns sleeping, and that's supposed to be Cade Cunningham. It's an awesome picture. I just don't see his hair like that, but that's okay. I mean,
you know what I love about it is like Cade shorter than Anson in that one. Cade shorter than Anson on that one.
Yeah,
I like this. Is you know what this is? This is like oh my God, in wrestling I'm gonna miss it. Never mind. You a wrestling fan?
Hacksaw Jim Duggan?
No. You kind of got the Hacksaw Jim Duggan vibe in there.
I was all
say
WWF.
Hornswoggle.
Hornswoggle?
The little guy, the little person that used to wear the leprechaun outfits and run around. He's a little person, is what I meant.
it's a good looking. That's done with AI, I assume, right?
It is. 100%.
Yeah, it looks really good. Really
Karl
good.
Anthony
John
Towns is
Koncak, by the way, was in the 80s and the early 90s. Mid 80s, early 90s. And it was a move that did not work out for the Pistons, and the franchise was better for it. When we come back, we will get to the mailbag. We'll get to some super chats as well. And maybe a quick thought on how good is Michigan the equivalent of the Pistons at the collegiate level?
I got another question about Michigan. Why the hell aren't they number one yet? That's what I want.
That is odd.
Every week.
That is weird. What's up with that?
How much ass do you have to whoop? They've won by 30 or more 7 times this season.
It's already it's already a Big Ten record.
At what point?
That's insane.
They had 6. The record was 6.
Yeah.
They had 6 after 12 games. That's how dominant they've been. Now, they almost slipped up last night.
They did.
Which made me reminisce.
They did.
We'll talk about that when we come back. This is from Black Rock first. Yeah.
They definitely did. You see, I got quiet. I didn't realize. Look, man, Black Rock Bar and Grill is still a sizzle above the rest. And the menu, although we've revamped it, we've kept a couple of your favorites like the prime sirloins. Don't worry, they're here to stay. Not just an experience, it's a top rock experience. All you can eat platters still going for $20. And if you mention Woodward Sports, you get 20% off the bill. Telling you, Black Rock is the place to be, and there are plenty of locations around the state. Look at Heartland, over at Canton, Ann Arbor, Utica, Davis, and Portage, just to name a few. Pull up on us because the food is spectacular.
Yeah, I mentioned this earlier about Lady Jane's. A buddy of mine came in, really didn't need a haircut, but left smiling and feeling good and looking good because he comes in, signs his name, jumps into a chair, and then boom, he gets his hair cut. And by the way, nice clean wash, neck shaved if necessary. If you come into our Birmingham store right now, you've got all kinds of balloons left over from the Amon-Ra St. Brown Foundation
amazing
party that took place on Monday that is just moving. So it tells you more than not just about the people who run Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, how clean the facility is, how nice the people are, how good of a haircut you get, but also how deep down inside they care about kids. That's enough to get you coming in here. It's wicked awesome.
You know how some things are so good they should be world famous, but they're not? Our house-made vinaigrette is one of those things. And the antipasto salad, we drizzle it over. Same with our hand-battered chicken tenders. Original recipe soups and pasta sauces. It's almost as if our original, world-famous Detroit-style pizza is mocking them. And that's not very nice.
Is that an octopus in your pants, or are you just happy to see me? See what I did there? Go Red Wings! From Octopi Experts Woodward Sports. Thank you to all the fans for making Woodward Sports your #1 online destination for Detroit sports. We promise not to drop the ball. Head to woodwardsports.com and click on Shop. Get the latest in Detroit sports apparel and exclusive Woodward Sports gear. Woodwardsports.com can get the whole team outfitted. Love the Pistons, Red Wings, and Tigers? We got something for you, too. Shop online at woodwardsports.com.
Hey, check it out. You can place any bet up to $1,000, and if you lose, you get that back. Isn't that crazy, Kool-Aid? All you gotta do is scan this QR code, enter the code Woodward1000. If your first bet doesn't hit, you'll get your deposit back up to $1,000. That's right, one whole stack back just for giving it a shot. Minimum bet $20. Download the Caesar Sportsbook app today, the official sportsbook of Woodward Sports. Use code Woodward1000 or scan the QR code on the screen.
Hey, you remember the song? I know you remember Ballin', like Jim Jones.
Oh yeah,
Diplomat. We fly high, bowling. Shep, you ever heard that song?
I can't say that I have.
Okay, cool. It's 20 years old this year.
Wow.
Stop.
Like Ballin' is Ballin' came on my second year in NFL. Like we played that track so much, man, in the locker room and in the clubs, at the crib, in the car. I was looking at a list of songs that are turning 20. The fastest way to I don't feel old at all. Like I feel smooth, feel great, and I'm blessed. The fastest way to feel old though, with that being said, is when you see the songs. Like you're like, wait, this came out when? So then you start looking at yourself. You're like, ooh, okay.
Or in my case, you start, you're calling games like, man, I called Braylon Edwards high school games. Now look at this, right? That'll make you feel really old. I don't. Yeah, I know.
That's 20s.
I don't need to be reminded. I do. Speaking of balling, Michigan continues to ball out.
Man, nice drop.
Best team in the country without a doubt. Last night was a little scary for them. What Penn State was doing on the final possession, I'll never know. It was reminiscent for me of February 27th, 2013.
Almost a birthday.
When Michigan went to Penn State and lost. And they were one of the best teams in the country at the time. And it really made people.
I remember that.
Yeah, it made Trey Burke and everybody else go, hold on a second. Things have got to change. And the players held a meeting. And it did change to a certain extent. They would later lose to Indiana. They would lose in the Big Ten tournament to Wisconsin. The Big Ten tournament was not a big deal for them.
And
then they went on the run and they beat South Dakota State at the Palace. They beat VCU. They ran VCU out of the building at the Palace. And I'll never forget getting ready for those games and hearing everybody in Detroit say they're going to lose to VCU. Some said they'd lose to South Dakota State. They're going to lose to VCU. And that talented team, led by Burke, who was the National Player of the Year, steamrolled Shaka Smart's team. Just blew them out 78-53.
I remember that.
Yeah.
Shaka had
just,
all the hype then.
I mean, beat the hell out, ran him out of the gym. Mitch McGary was running. Yeah, you talk about beating ass. So, and then, Kansas was thrilling, and Florida was a blowout in Syracuse. Indiana couldn't handle Syracuse's 2-3 zone. Michigan did it perfectly with Tim Hardaway at the free throw line. Last night reminded me a little bit of that, but Michigan last night found a way to win. We talk about how fun the Pistons are to watch. Michigan's really fun to watch, aren't they?
Yeah, they're really good to watch, man. I think we talk about the 30-point wins and the blowouts and them scoring 100 points and things like that, but they play on both ends of the court, man. They have a lot of that same grit that they have let me get rid of this word. They have a lot of that same physicality on both ends of the court that you see down in LCA, and that's how they play. The other good thing about Dusty May is Dusty May, he gets it on a different level. Like, obviously, he's operating the transfer portal. He's operating very well in this new space in Michigan. But he's not just bringing in guys just because, this guy wants to come here, or this guy get a little bit of cash. He's leaving UNC, or he's leaving Florida, or he's leaving, whatever big schools, the main schools. He's bringing in guys that fit the program.
Yes.
He's bringing in guys that fit what I'm doing. Like, that's tough.
And can play together.
That's tough to do in this day and age. He's doing it right. The depth, talk about LCA, it's the same up in Ann Arbor. The depth that they have in that bench, they're going to be a tough team. And I don't want to say tough out because I don't believe they're going to be an out. I don't think they're going to be an out. Which means they ain't losing.
If somebody said to you right now, you'd take Michigan to the field for the national championship, I know the obvious answer would be the field, but the way they're drubbing teams, save for last night, the way they're drubbing teams would side you with maize and blue.
Just do me a favor. For those that they don't believe in what this Michigan team is, eventually it's going to come off the rails, that's fine. Do me a favor. Go look at that last year's team. Why don't you look at those names? Why don't you just look at where they came from?
Yeah.
Look at what the positions were. Like, they went all the way to the Elite Eight. It wasn't Elite Eight. They went all the way to Elite Eight. That's not an Elite Eight team. That was not an Elite Eight team. That's called coaching, and that's called buying into what that system is. And now the players, much better than they were last year. Much better.
Yeah, this team is. All right, to Super Chats. Go right ahead because we're running out of time. That's
sir.
my fault. I'm sorry.
Nah, no such thing as
It was a lot of good content here, man. It's your first show back, and I thought this show was fire, man. So shout out to the crew.
Keep it rolling.
Smash that like button if you haven't gotten an opportunity to. But Randall Smalls, he says, $2 Super Chat. Give me the wheel. I'll drive it like I stole it. In terms of the Lions offense being Ferraris and needing somebody who knows how to drive Ferraris. I
appreciate that. Randall you probably nice on Madden, huh?
We got
probably nice.
I need a Madden competition here, man, hosted by Bray.
Yeah, I host. I don't play anymore.
I was looking out for you.
Video games are one of those things. I had a stats class. Like, I took stats, and one thing my professor said, he said, "Hey, look, don't miss classes." He said, because all those stats is not a hard class. When you miss a class, you're missing a step. So when you come to the next class, you've missed that step. You don't know how to get there. I was like, man, whatever, man. I don't even whatever. I missed like 2 classes and it was like, this is Chinese. Like, I can't.
Probability and statistics.
100%.
That's good.
Shout out to Dante151 with the $4.99 Super Chat and the number 3 crown today. He says, will we get a live reaction to tomorrow's press conference with Brad Holmes? Because I think that would be amazing content just to see live reactions.
Yeah, I'm eager. Like, this is going to be a press conference I watch live. Like, I'm not going to lie. Like, outside of Dan Campbell here and there, I don't necessarily watch him live. I'll catch him on the clips. But I do watch him so I can get the info. I'm watching that live because I can't wait to see what Brad Holmes has to say at the podium, just because how the last couple seasons have ended and what his energy was, and then because of how the season started, what his conversation was. I want to see what he said.
Going to be some really interesting questions.
Yeah, we got 5 more Super Chats in here that people are really supporting.
Why not?
He says, really, Mr. Biggs, $1.99 Super Chat says, bring me Todd Monken and Linderbaum from the Ravens in terms of what to put on the offensive line.
Linderbaum for sure. I'm not sure about Todd Monken.
Can you keep Todd Monken? Send him right back to Georgia.
Yeah, the only reason I say that is I don't know how they didn't use their running game, specifically Derrick Henry, at the end of that game against Pittsburgh. But go ahead.
That's for 2 years.
Yeah, I know. I know you can blame it on John Harbaugh. That's fine. He's got the final say. But Todd Monken is part of that too. Go ahead.
Yeah. All right. Next one up here is J. Rod Sayers with another $20 Super Chat. And he says, Shep, Grand Valley State University Women's, they won the 2025 D2 championship, both ranked as of now. Women's is still number 1 and undefeated. If you do a deep dive into head coach Mike Williams, He has a plus 850 winning percentage in his 11th year at GVSU.
Great education.
His brother, he says, is the associate head coach, so he has a local time.
Yeah, though I knew the women won the national title a year ago. I just didn't know that the two schools or the two programs were off to such a great start. Thank you for that.
Thank
it needs
you
to be
for
talked
that.
about. Way to go.
Appreciate that.
20 bones. I see you, J-Rod.
Hey, shout out to J-Rod.
Yeah, man.
Randall Smalls, $5 super chat. He says, to be honest, I would be okay if Brad moves up in the first round to grab a left tackle and then second round to take Slaughter from Florida at center. And Curtis Schultz, he has the perfect OC for the Detroit Lions, $2 super chat. In all caps, Braylon.
I appreciate it. Like, I'm a horrible offensive coordinator. I remember playing Madden. Speaking of Madden, like, legitimately, all I'm doing is throwing fade routes like the whole game. Fade routes. He'll figure it out. Fourth down, he'll figure it out.
He would be really good in front of the media, though.
Yeah, that part. I got tricky. They're like, Braylon, what happened out there? Well, sometimes, you win and you lose, but at the end of the day, everybody made it through the game healthy, feel really good. We'll get a chance to watch some film, see how this thing breaks out, but we promise we'll be a better team next week. I've said absolutely nothing.
Question in the back. Shep, go ahead. Yeah, I'm just wondering, it's a contract year for some of these guys. Do you think they're going to play harder? What?
I'm gonna look at Shell like, what?
If they turn their level of intensity up, then I'm getting rid of them because they should have had that level last year.
That sounds like a coach to me, people, man. Look, Dante151 with the last super chat here.
Flag football coach.
$4.99 super chat is actually kind of funny. Flag football. He says, you mean Vince McMahon's pastor's son, Hornswoggle, who's also an honorary member of DX, Bray?
Yes.
That storyline was supposed to be Mr. Kennedy as a son.
I knew I had some people out there that understand exactly where I was going.
Cut.
That's what I'm talking about. 1,000%, man. 1,000%.
Good show, man. Appreciate it.
Great show.
Great to
Appreciate
see you again.
this,
Yeah.
man. This is that energy that we have, man. This is what we're bringing you in 2026, man. It's a new year. It's a new show. Same people, though. It's my guy, Shep. It's my guy, Cam. And it is Kool-Aid to my right. We appreciate you guys. And, Shep, we'll see him later, right?
Hey, happy birthday, Queen Kool-Aid.
Happy birthday. Hey! You got the final say there.
All right, we're going to hear about where you went tonight to take her out for her birthday.
Yeah, because I want people to watch
show.
the Pistons game from LCA, so I'll watch them win from another establishment.
Awesome.
It worked for the Red Wings.
All right.
Okay, maybe TMI. Is there a babysitter involved so you can see a birthday? Never mind.
Okay. All right.
We got a free.
He'll figure out how much he can share with us tomorrow. That's at 2:00. Stay with us.
Looking for your daily sports fix? Look no further. Join Braylon Edwards, the University of Michigan legend.
Lofting it right corner of the end zone for Braylon, up in the air. Touchdown, Michigan!
And Shep.
Do you believe this comeback?
Your favorite sports commentator as they tackle the hottest topics in the world of sports. Catch the Braylon Edwards Show with Shep, Monday through Friday from 2 to 4 p.m. on the Woodward Sports Network. Get ready to laugh, learn, and love sports like never before.